Welcome everybody. I don't know if you can see me. I'm not seeing myself on the monitor. I'm seeing the flyer. There I go. Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Melanie Thomas. Welcome to Thrive. I'm so happy that today is finally here. This is our 5th annual Black History Month event here with eXp Realty. We started this back in 2018, and this is the 5th time around. We're going to have a great program for you today. 3 separate sections, all enjoyable in their own way. The first group that you're going to see is a panel of expert agents here from eXp Realty that are going to talk about what it means to thrive. We hear a lot of talk in the market, negativity on the news, and just a lot of chatter about what's going to happen and what to be afraid of. They're going to talk to you about how you're going to thrive and not just have survive mode in your mind. So that's going to be the first thing. Second, we're going to have a treat. Our keynote speaker today is
Well, we can't hear you. I believe you got muted somehow, some way. You look good saying whatever it was you were saying, but I don't know.
Nobody heard any of what I was saying?
I think we heard maybe the first 3 minutes, but the other 2 minutes, you just look good doing whatever you were saying.
Well,
go ahead.
What I was miming was basically, we're going to have a great time. We have 3 great sessions. This man who has now introduced himself is going to lead our first panel. It's going to tell you how to thrive, not survive in 2023, followed by our keynote, Ashley Fox, followed by our BENJI Awards, which I gave the explanation of that, but you'll have to catch that from someone else. And then we're going to go to the after party with DJ Intel, our own boy from Orlando here, Michael. So with that being said, since I was mute the whole time, I'm going to hand it off to Mike to get started with our Thrive panel. Everybody enjoy. You're going to be in for a treat today. I can't wait. I'm going to go do my wardrobe change for the award show.
Ooh, I like it. All right. We'll pass the mic to Mr. Mike. All right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the Mike Collier. As you can see, I am ready, decked, donned, and ready for an amazing award show that we have going on. And this panel interview, I can tell you, is going to be fire. As Mel said, we're talking more about how to thrive in any economy, more so than just surviving in any economy. Tell you a little bit about me. I started in my real estate career with eXp in 2019. I didn't work for any big box brokers before I came here. So a lot of what I've learned has been since I've been here at eXp, and it's been because of the collaboration and all of the education that eXp provides, the opportunities that are there, that I was able to hit icon agent. So I capped 1 year, I hit icon the next year, and we just keep on going and growing. I'm growing my own team. I have a great revenue share downline of agents, and so the same is true for these panelists that you're going to be seeing. I am really proud to be in partnership with every single one of these individuals that you're going to see coming to the stage. So without further ado, let's go ahead and welcome our panelists. I want you guys to listen, just because we can't see you, you can see us. And just because we can't hear you, but you can hear us, I still want you to stand up and clap and say, them boys good, right? Give us all of the love, all of the energy. All right. And so first to the stage, please welcome none other than Miss Chauncey Pham.
Hey,
all right.
Everybody.
There she is. What's up? All right. Next up, we have LaShawn Peterson. Come on.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
All right. Okay. Some of you guys know him, some of you don't, but you will know him after today. I'm going to welcome to the stage Mr. Will Higgins.
What's happening, guys?
What's up? What's up? Big California welcome to you. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, we have from the A-Town, Miss Tabitha Caver. Welcome to the stage.
Hello, glad to be here.
Yes, we are glad to have all of you here. All right, so let's jump into it, shall we?
Yes.
So this is the Thrive panel. For those of you who don't know, or if you're late, somebody just told you, hey, jump on. They're about to be talking about something that you need to chime into. I want to tell you what Thrive is all about. So we're going to be talking about Thrive being technology, health, relationships, implementation, value, and education. So that's T.H.R.I.V.E. And every single one of these panelists that are on here today have, none of this is going to be scripted. We're just going to talk. We're going to talk real. And they're going to share what's on their minds, what's on their hearts, how they've been building their business, and how they continue to thrive regardless of the sky falling, as the news is telling us, right? And all of these other external factors. And so let's jump right into it. First, I want to talk about the T in Thrive being technology. Now, as we know, we are in 2023, and EXP is a very technology forward company. And so we rest on this platform knowing that we can embrace that. But I'd love to hear, and I'm going to start with you, Will. I'd love to see how you're embracing technology in your business, and something maybe we can inspire the audience, some apps or systems that they should consider using in their business. Give us your top 3 pieces of technology and how you're using that in your business.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. So first, I'll say technology is really what attracted me to this company and what's attracting a lot of people to this company. When I saw the EXP world, I was at a different brokerage before, but when I saw that, I was like, you know what? I think I'm living in the Stone Age, and that was one of the things that attracted me to EXP. So in terms of technology, I was a single agent for all these years. And automation, being a single agent, I adapted automation, and that really helped me be successful. So three tools that I'm using is one is Zapier, 2 is my CRM, and then 3 is ClickFunnels.
Okay, so talk to us really briefly. What does Zapier do? Why are you zapping information? Where is it zapping?
So Zapier connects all things tech, right? Because we start you start picking all these little pieces, well, this system does this and this system does that, and they don't speak to each other. Well, that's where Zapier comes in. Zapier connects all things that are technology, and you can whatever you can imagine, you can essentially do.
Okay, so basically, if you run a Facebook ad, you can run an ad, create some lead gen. The lead comes in, but then where does it go? Zapier is going to zap that into your CRM, and so now it's building your database all at the same time, right?
And it'll text me. It'll put it in a spreadsheet. It'll do all these different things. Again, whatever you can think about in your wildest dreams, it'll do it.
Okay, perfect. All right, and then you also mentioned your CRM. So do you have a specific CRM that agents have the tendency to jump to CRM to CRM to CRM. They're always looking for the best one. Yes. What are you using, and what's working for you?
So I'll start by saying the best CRM is the one that you use, right? I know people that effectively use Excel sheet. I remember when I first started, I had a note that I kind of had everything categorized, and that worked out fine. But right now I'm using Follow Up Boss, and my favorite aspect of Follow Up Boss is the deals tab. I have automation built into every stage of the process so that I can create the same process for all of my clients, which should enable all of them to have the same great experience and then provide referrals.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna break that down in layman's terms. Basically, what he's saying is when you move each client or lead from one stage to the next, every time he moves it into the next stage, if they go under contract, he already has automated emails and text messages set up to go out to these clients as soon as that thing happens, so that he's not manually having to text them congratulations or here's the next step, right? And so these things are the way that we're going to move forward and do much more business, because if we can scale our business, then if we can duplicate our business, we can scale our business. And so that's what you're doing. And then there was a third one. What was your third one? I'm sorry.
ClickFunnels.
ClickFunnels. Talk to us about that.
ClickFunnels. So ClickFunnels taught me about taking people on a journey, right? And it's a one-page website. I learned a while back that if you send someone to a website, there's so much that they can do that they end up getting lost and they take no action. Well, ClickFunnels is a one-page website, a landing page, where there's typically only one outcome, right? So if that's agent attraction, it's for someone to book a call with me. If it's a buyer or seller, again, it's for them to book a call with me. There's no looking at houses. There's no here are all these pictures. So it keeps them focused and it takes them on a journey and it helps them, land where you want them to be.
I like that. All right. Anybody else want to add anything to what you're doing? Something any piece of technology that you're using to thrust your business forward? No? Okay. No? Chauncey's like, I got something, but I got a whole bunch.
I would like to just add, not necessarily that there's any particular piece of technology that I'm using, but as we are speaking to a broader audience of realtors right now, is don't overwhelm yourself with technology. If we're talking about thriving, make sure that you're not allowing yourself to get distracted by all of the new shiny systems that are out there and all of the apps that are thrown at you. Really hone in on what you are trying to accomplish with your business, and then only seek out those tools and solutions that you can implement strategically in your business that makes sense. Because I do find that a lot of agents get almost overwhelmed with technology because there are so many options. So, really find the ones that you want, hone in, and implement a strategy, and then just stick to those instead of, getting kind of lost in this.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you for adding that, Chauncey. I read that at one point, I think it may have been last year or the year before, but anyway, NAR, the National Association of Realtors, said that 71% of people who did business with a realtor, people who bought a home or sold a home with a realtor, said that they would not use that same realtor. And when they were asked why, it was because of the number one thing being communication. And so, or lack thereof. And so if you can find ways to even start with that bare basic, that thing that is so important in every single transaction, which is optimizing your communication. If you're going to start with some technology, you're looking for tech, start there. Start building your communication platform and then build from that. Let that be your base. All right. All right. So let's move on as we start talking about H. The H in Thrive stands for health. And we can go a lot of different ways with that. Physical health, mental health, business health. But Chauncey, I'm going to lean on you with this one. I want to start with you. Let's talk about health. When you think about thriving in a health perspective through business and maybe even in your personal life, what does that look like to you, and what can you share?
I would say, just speaking from a business perspective, obviously, health, the first thing that we all think about is we should be drinking more water. We should be actively, moving our bodies every day. Like, that's the obvious part of it. But I think something that a lot of us don't really put a lot of thought into is the mental health aspect, because if we're not mentally healthy and mentally strong as business owners, it can get bad. We are in very vulnerable and very stressful positions, especially with how we are expected to build our businesses out right now with, social media, using technology. And then we've still got, our family on our back. We're building out this organization. It's a lot. And so for me, health is very driven by the mental health aspect. And so just what I would kind of chime in with that, as it pertains to realtors that may be out there listening and watching right now, is leverage some of these tools that you should be using, like social media and things like that. But keep yourself grounded, and make sure that you are ready to put yourself out there by using those tools, and that you're ready for a lot of what comes with that, because the internet can be kind of a crazy place. And so, you're just using the tools that you think you're supposed to use to let people know you're a realtor. And before you know it, you're seeing negative comments and you're getting emails. And so understand that that's kind of a part of it. But really taking care of your mental health and feeding your business in a positive way is really, really important.
Yeah, I love that. And I would add to that and be mindful of what you're listening to. Right. Even in the car, what are you listening to? Are we listening to audiobooks, or are we just, there's a time and place for trap music, right? it probably isn't all day, every day on your way to your listing appointment, or is it? but I'm just saying, you know, there's a time and place for it all, right? So anybody else want to add to that health conversation?
Yeah.
And
Oh, go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead, Sean.
I was going to add on to what Chauncey said, and it's important to have healthy relationships in our life. You know, make sure that you're around people who encourage you and who inspire you and who are there to, you know, boost you up because real estate is extremely stressful. So we need to be mindful of our relationships and who we let into our lives.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it is that's super important.
I call those boosters. I said we got to be
Yes.
surrounded by boosters, right? People gonna boost you no matter what. They are gonna now they can give negative energy and they can feed you positive energy, but
Right.
how we use it as fuel is up to us, right? And so we got to surround ourselves and see everybody else around us as boosters. They're just trying to get you to the next destination, right? They're divinely appointed, and it's all good, right? So so you talked about healthy relationships, which interestingly enough, that's what we're going to go into next, which is the R, relationships. Relationships in this business are absolutely monumentally key. They will make or break your business, and some people are self-proclaimed introverts or self-proclaimed I don't really like people like that, right? And then we have the other people who are extremely extroverted and they've never met a stranger. And then you got a little bit of everything in between, right? You got the extroverted introverts. And so we have all of that. But relationships, even beyond that, is extremely key. So Tabitha, I'm gonna come to you here as we start talking about relationships in your business and in your personal life. But how are you thriving through relationships?
Yeah, that's so good. And everything that we've even talked about is just really leading up to everyone leveling up their business, leveling up their relationships. And it's really important because a lot of times people get into real estate and like you said, they may be on one end of the spectrum. They may be an introvert. And they're like, well, how do I get leads? Or how do I, really market myself if I'm more reserved or more conservative or, so it's really about finding your community, finding the people that are going to boost you up, like you said, right?
Yeah.
And I love EXP because we're global. So you're always going to be able to find your tribe. You're always going to be able to find your people, and your personal relationships directly influence your business relationships, because a lot of times, honey, if home ain't right, that impacts your business. And so, making sure that your personal relationships are healthy, as we mentioned before, and understanding that real estate is a people business. It's not, some people like to really look at it as a numbers business, and that's okay, to each its own. But real estate really is a relationship business. It's about people. And it's really important for me, and I think for all agents and real estate professionals, no matter how you're connected to our industry, it's really important to understand that is, finding your people, finding your tribe, finding those people that are going to boost you up, motivate you, and encourage you. So that way you're thriving in your personal relationships. And that's also going to help you, elevate and level up your business relationships and how you meet clients. And we can talk on and on and on, how to get clients and how to build those relationships. So, it really is the center and the core of everything that we do.
Yeah, and it's more than even just the client relationships, right? It's vendor relationships. It's all of the stuff. It's all of the people. And Chauncey, as we were prepping, you talked a little bit about social media and like relationships, even in regards to like how we relate to people as we're putting our brand out there. Can you talk a little bit about that? How authenticity helps build strong relationships, even through a virtual platform like what we're on right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll throw out, when it comes to relationships, just a phrase that has always been in my head since I got into sales, is the only difference between the word contacts and contracts is the letter R, and that stands for relationships, right? And so that's what we all know. And so that's kind of, what I live by. And so even using platforms, and using technology and social media to reach your people, I think it's very, very important that we understand that social media is not selling media. The whole purpose of it is to be social, and to cultivate relationships and friendships with people before you even actually speak to them or meet them. And the only way that you can do that is to actually be yourself. But then that again ties back into what we were just talking about with health and the mental health side is when you are yourself, then you're pretty vulnerable, and you have to be okay to leaving yourself out there and putting yourself out there for people to say what they're going to say. And sometimes that can be scary, but what that also does is it opens you up to meeting your people where they are. And so I see that a lot of people utilize social media, and they go through the motions of what they think they're supposed to do, right? They make the posts, they post the pictures with the glittery keys, and but really you don't get to know them through that. And I think that is very, very important, that if we want to build relationships with people, and we have this amazing tool and these amazing platforms, with the different social media platforms, that we are utilizing them properly, and that we are ultimately utilizing them to build relationships and not just give information.
Yeah, that's so good. I agree. Authenticity is key, even through social media. Will, you were going to add something to that.
Yeah, we actually have an interesting dynamic as EXP agents, because we have the ability to essentially, like you said, build our tribe, right? So you can build out this massive organization. And with that comes, lots of different people, lots of different relationships. But it all comes back to me all comes back to energy, right? So with that being said, with the relationships that you're building, you want to be equally matched with energy. Like, so it's very hard to create energy, especially in a person. Let's say there's an agent that you want them to produce, right? And maybe you want them to produce more than they want to produce, right? That's a one-sided relationship. So with these relationships you're building, it's easier to match energy versus try to build energy, because that is going to suck you dry, and your cup will be completely empty, and you're no good to anyone.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, we're all sponges, right? We're all sponges, and at the end of the day, like, we're either being squeezed and pouring out, or you're soaking up. And a healthy relationship, you're doing a little bit of both. When you're empty, you're getting filled up, and you get squeezed, or you're allowing yourself to pour out to others and filling theirs. But if you're only continuously being squeezed and nothing else is being poured into you, then you're in a toxic environment, and it's time for you to get into something different, right? And so I think relationships is key. I'm glad we stayed on that one for a minute. So let's go on to the next letter in Thrive, being the I. The I stands for implementation. Implementation. Stop talking about it, but be about it, right? Put your money where your mouth is. Massive action gets massive results. Like, all of the different phrases that we hear, all of them are good, but they don't mean anything if you don't move your feet, right? Yep. My favorite group, Outcast, said, if you don't move your feet, then we don't eat. So we like neck to neck, right? Like, if you don't move your feet, then I don't eat. I need you to move too. I need you to take action. So this works for all of us. And so let's talk about implementation. And Will, I'm going to come back to you as far as implementation is concerned. What does that look like in your business? Massive action getting massive results.
I'll tell a quick story about the way my career started. So when I started, I was at the big red and black company, right? And Tristan, who's with us now, came in to speak. I'm a brand new agent, not knowing what to do, but I always had this mindset of, I'm going to pull one thing and implement it. Well, he came in that day and he talked about automation and Facebook ads. That was all I needed. I heard that. I took the scripts. I took everything he did. I went into a hole. I implemented and came out. That launched my career. That year, I generated over 2,000 leads. I called all of them, and I just started closing deals, and that literally launched my career. So when we talk about implementation, every time I go to an event, every time I sit on something like this, I'm going to look for one thing to take, and I'm going to implement instantly. Because if you don't implement instantly, you'll probably never do it.
Ooh, let's go. Success loves speed, right? I want to hear from each of you on this, because all of you, one of the main reasons why you're here is because you are an implementer. You are a doer, right? You're a visionary, but you're also a doer. So LaShawn, I'm coming to you next. Talk about how implementation, what does it mean to be a doer and take action in your business?
Well, I am like Will said, I'm big on taking classes and I'm big on taking something away. Actually, I met you guys at the first Black EXP
Retreat.
networking event.
Yeah.
Yeah, the retreat. And I got so much information out of that and it just totally changed my business. And, me and Tawana, we sat down and we had to think, like, what do we want to do? And we worked on our systems because Chauncey was like, well, I have a system that when I bring my recruits in and and it follows them all the way through. And I have an admin who does that. We hired us an admin. We built a system on a training system. We got our training together and how we did our onboarding. So we always go straight to it when we get something good.
Yeah.
So I don't wait. I don't just keep it in my notebook. I implement it in my life because I can do classes every day. But if I'm not growing my business and making more money, which is the purpose out of all of it, it's all for naught. So
Yeah. No, I
not
love
only
that. They say earners are
yeah,
learners, right? Earners are learners. And I
exactly.
mean, at the end of the day, like you're either learning something or you're out earning something. And if you're not making money right now, you should be in classes doing something. But you take what you learn and you actually implement. Tabitha, I want to hear from you, and then I'm going to come over to Chauncey.
Man, this is so good. Listen, as soon as you said, immediately when you said that, I thought about a scenario. I met a new agent and she was at another brokerage and she called me for some advice. And I said, sure, absolutely, because I love to see everybody win. So she's like, well, what do I do? Because I'm new and how do I get my name, out there, whatever. And I gave her some suggestions as far as what to do. And as it pertains to social media, just like Chauncey said, being really authentic. If you want to brand yourself, fine, brand yourself, find something, whatever. She's like, well, no, I probably shouldn't do that because I don't have business cards yet. I said, what does business cards have to do with anything? Well, I want to pass out the business cards. Honey, you don't have to have business cards. You don't have to have a website. You don't have to have none of that just to get started, right? So I love that we are talking about this because people think that they have to do all of these different things. And, I have to have this first and I have to just do it. Just get started, go back. You can, finish the website. You can develop it or you pay somebody or like whatever. And if it's not your skill set, barter with someone. You may not have the funds or whatever. Just get it done. Find out a way. I never operate from, I can't. That's not even in my vocabulary. It's not in my family's vocabulary. We work from how can I? And you implement and you get started and you just do. We need more of it.
And we need more.
Can I add to that, Mike?
Can
I add to that?
Yeah.
Everything in this business works. You just need to find out what works for you and do more of it, right? But the only way to find out what works is to try. So stop. You don't have to build out this 20-page business plan for every idea. You just need to implement as soon as possible and adjust along the way.
I love it. Implementation and adjustment along the way. That's good. All right. Now I know, look, this fires all of us up. But they don't fire nobody up more than my sister, Chauncey Pham, as we start talking about agents who are on this struggle bus, trying to get off of it.
Yeah.
And trying to just get out of their own way. Talk about it, please.
Yeah, I mean, it makes my teeth itch. So one of my favorite EXP agents, her name's Rosemary Lewis. She's here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and she says this thing all the time that really resonates with me. And she says, do it scared. And I think that is the issue that most realtors have, whether they're seasoned or novice, is they're afraid. They get all of these ideas, and we're ingesting, all of these different strategies and ideas and processes, but we're afraid. And I think really when it comes down to it, most of us are just afraid. And whether we're afraid of the failure of it, or we're afraid of, what's on the other side of it, or how it's going to look when it starts, or we're afraid of the expense of it and how much money it's going to cost. Regardless, there's a little bit of fear in there. And I think if we can just get over the fear and just implement things, y'all, half the things I start, I have no idea where it's going to go. It ain't got no direction. I don't have a plan for it, but it's something that there was something about it that put a fire in my belly. And I think this could work. What I do know is if I don't try it, it ain't gonna work. But if I at least put a little bit of effort behind it and get a little bit consistent, it may work. It may turn out to be that it is not for me, but I just want everyone to leave from this talk understanding that you have to implement and just start something and do it scared. And that is how you kind of end up finding who you are and what will ultimately work for you.
Yes. Start where you are.
Yeah,
Start where
absolutely.
you are, not where you could have been, not where you should have been. Look, we got to stop, shooting all over ourselves, right?
Yeah, do it
You
scared.
know, yeah, just do it scared, right? You should have planted a tree 20 years ago, but the next best time to do it is now, right? And so I'm loving that we're talking, and y'all know we can stay on that one for a while, but we're gonna move on. So the next one is the V, and that is value. Finding ways to add value. There's in this sea, wide, big old ocean of real estate agents who simply are people with a real estate license. They are out here slinging homes, slinging misinformation, and doing a whole bunch of other stuff. Many of them aren't doing much at all, but many of them, I would say, are kind of muddying up the water. And so there's new agents who have very well-intentioned agents who come into this business and say, you know what, I don't know exactly how to do it, but I'm gonna kill it. I want to be successful. I know most agents don't make it out of the gate, but I'm gonna come out of the gate and I'm gonna come through swinging. But then they go in and do the same thing that all these agents before them are doing, and they get swept up into the tide, right? And they get washed off into sea. And so when we start talking about value, how can agents provide a unique value add to the people that they are doing life, doing business, doing relationships with? How can they add value and stand out as an agent amongst this wide sea of agents that are out here, so that they can not only just survive, but so that they can thrive? And Chauncey, you had something to say about this, so I'm going to come back to you on that.
So I think the biggest thing is that understanding when you get into real estate, selling real estate and real estate in and of itself is a commodity. And getting into business thinking that your job is to become an expert at the commodity is the wrong way to do it. The best thing to do is to become an expert and an authority at a solution. Like, think about it. Do you actually ever go into a store to get something? Do you go into a hair supply store to buy shoes? No, because at the hair supply store, the beauty supply store, they specialize in a certain thing. I think that's where we go wrong as agents, is that we put ourselves out there as being general experts about real estate instead of honing in on a particular solution that some of our target clients need and becoming the authority at that. And then that becomes your unique value proposition. That is what makes you stand out against all the other realtors. So all realtors are supposed to be good at selling houses. All of us are supposed to help our clients get the most money when we list their house. All of us are supposed to help them find their dream home. That is nothing unique. That is your job. But when you can hone in and actually become the authority at a particular solution, then just by way of you being the authority at that one thing, everyone that needs that one thing is going to come to you instead of you having to chase them. So that is kind of my perspective on value, is just become the authority at a solution, not an authority at the commodity.
Now, Tabitha, your eyes were lighting up as she was talking about this. I think you have something to say about it. You want to add to it?
No, she was amazing. No, Chauncey, she needs to write a whole book on that thing, because she got it down packed. But
look, with Chauncey, it's probably on the way. Okay,
yes. I'm first to buy it. I definitely just want to add that she's absolutely right. In this day and age of real estate and new agents that have come in, we've seen an influx of agents come in, especially during the pandemic. And so now, it's getting a little tough. This is what, separates, who's really in it for the long game. And, so I think that the value add is so important. So for me, it's the value that I can bring to my clients is not just, a great communicator. Chauncey's right. We should already be doing that. And the fact that I can come to my clients and say, hey, I have this and this. I'm an investor. So I can come in, I can, look at your house up and down. I can tell you how much, this renovation may be, or this type of improvement is going to be in order to sell your house for top dollar, or, my negotiation skills, being able to do that. So finding something that is a natural skill set to you, that you have learned, that, you've taken the time to invest in yourself, and using that for real estate, or something that you're just naturally good at. What is something that people have complimented you on? And you're able to take that and put that into your business. And it may be helping other agents. It may not be directly tied to buyers and sellers. There's so many different things that you can do with your gifting and your talents and your anointing in the real estate industry. It's not just one way. So I think if we can expand our mindset to say, how can I use my talents, gifting, and abilities in order to accomplish this, in order to provide this solution, like Chauncey was saying, I think we will be way better, far advanced if we start to really think at it like that.
Man, look, y'all gonna have to roll the organ out here. I almost said a okay. Yes, I love it. All right, so let's move on to E, education. The education is so important. It's such a building block to any business, especially as an entrepreneur. If you come into this thing or ever step into a full day of a 24-hour period where you think that you know it all, you are done. Finito, right? And so let's talk about education, how education is playing a role and how it has played a role in your success. LaShawn, I'm going to come to you first. Now, you talked a little bit about the Black EXP Network retreat that we did. You were at the one in Puerto Rico, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, I've been to them all.
Yeah, Puerto Rico. If y'all don't know, we've been to Puerto Rico, we've been to Panama, and I'm not talking about Panama City Beach. Okay, I'm talking about Panama City, Panama, the country. Yes, we did that, and we all to educate and influence our agents. And so, talk about the role that education plays in your life and in your business. How are you using it to thrive? Even in this year, in 2023, while everything else is going crazy.
Okay, so let me start with that. I work with a lot of new agents, like probably 75% of the realtors that I recruit or that join my team or join our organization, they're brand new. And no one wants to learn anything. They'll come to me on day 2, I have a client. I said, okay, but they haven't learned how to write an offer. They don't know how to use the tools. They haven't joined the board. They haven't taken any classes with the board. They don't know how to use the MLS. No one wants to take time to actually learn the business. They want to come straight in and sell. And I'm like, just slow down. Give yourself 30 days to learn the tools, to learn the business, to learn yourself how to write a contract. You need to know that contract front and back. This isn't something that you just run out there and do. You have to learn before you can earn, right? Like that, Mike.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
Yeah, so newer agents, just slow down. Just tell yourself, I'm going to take 6 months and I'm going to learn my craft. I'm going to learn about mortgages. I'm going to learn about, I'm going to learn my contracts. I'm going to learn the tools. I'm going to learn how to use a CRM. I'm going to learn all of these things before I start taking clients so that I'll be able to serve my clients efficiently. So once you do that, and once you got the basics down and you're out there selling real estate, you're ready to go to the next level, something like the Black EXP retreat. And that is where I met Chauncey Sam and where I met Chaston Miles. And before then, I had been in my own bubble selling real estate. And Tawana and I, we were doing really well, but it helped broaden my mindset. Like I met people that were doing some really big things, like B rolled out all the big wigs on us. So, and I met you too, Mike, and it broadened my horizon. And like my business tripled after I left that retreat because I met some mega stars who were doing mega things who look like me. And I'm from Detroit, and so in our market, it's a little different. But it let me know that I could move outside of my market, and I absolutely did because of the things that I implemented that I learned that day. Especially with the marketing and the branding. And, I learned how to get my colors just right. I learned the difference between marketing and branding because they're not the same thing. And I implemented all of that into our business right immediately after. So it is important to get around people who are doing greater things than you and things that you couldn't even imagine yourself doing. And trust me, once you incorporate those type of people in your life, you will be doing it before you know it. And on the same scale.
And that's shout out to our sister Shalea. Shalea came through in Puerto Rico and really just opened our eyes and our minds to branding and all of that kind of stuff. So she's watching.
Shalea's been to Detroit with me.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So, and that goes back again, back to relationships, right? Like you didn't leave those
exactly.
relationships in Puerto Rico where you found them. You created that link and said, "Hey, Shalea, I see that you know what you're talking about, and I need me some of that. Can you come
Yes,
through to the D?" And so like she came to Detroit and had a whole branding session with you guys, right?
absolutely. And we're working on a project together, and I can't roll it. I can't wait to roll it out. Um, so I made some lifelong connections at these events, and big things happen at big events. You always
Mm.
want to make sure that you're there.
Big things happen at big events. You guys hear that? This is a big event. So you
Mhm.
can say something is
Yes.
happening. And I hope those of you who are watching, you're taking notes feverishly, and these notes will not collect dust, but that you will implement on what you're learning. Does anybody want to add to that as we talk about education and the role of education in how you thrive in your business?
I'll throw in just that, classes and the general sense of education is really good. But honestly, the fastest way to get from point A to point B in a business is to get you a mentor, link up with somebody that is already where you want to go. But also not having the entitlement to think that just because someone is where you want to go, that they are supposed to give you everything that they know for free. And so coming to the table with some value. So we're bringing that value word back into the game again, coming to the table with something of value to bring to someone that could help you, that you could learn from. And so offering that up. So maybe you're really good at photography. Maybe you can, run comps for someone or do some paperwork for them as a new agent. If you're struggling, then offer those types of things up, because picking someone's brain, that is probably the most invaluable thing that you can do in this business to get you from point A to point B and really level up your business quickly.
I absolutely agree with that. There is a difference between having time and having money, and we very rarely have both at the same time. And so, if you're a newer agent, especially, you probably have more time than you have money. Well, guess what? You need to be spending that time wisely. And so that, like Chauncey just said, finding those mentors, like LaShawn said, going to those events. There are free events that you can go to. There's virtual events. As a matter of fact, speaking of virtual events, there are over 60 hours or 80 hours, I don't know how many, but tens of hours, many, many hours of free training available to you in EXP World every single week. You want to learn how to write a contract? Guess what? They do it every week. You want to learn about rent to own? They do it every single week. You want to find out about how you can help, and going back to being solutions based, you want to find out how you. I actually just did this just yesterday. I had a Zillow call come in. They wanted to go see a house, but they got to sell their house before they can buy this house, and they were a little down about it. And I said, well, let's just get the house on the market. They said, well, the problem is we need a new roof and we need this big patio. The deck is shot, and if somebody steps on it, they're going to go through. And I said, well, why don't you just fix the deck? And they said, because we don't have the money to fix the deck. I said, well, what if there was a way that I could bring one of my partners in to help you to fix all the things that need to be fixed before you even have to pull a dollar out of your pocket, and then you simply pay them when you close on your house, and it adds value, and you just pay them on the backside of it. Would that be helpful to you? What do you think they said? Yeah, right. And I turn them over to our EXP partner, Curbio. Right. And so now Curbio is going to come over there, and they're good. So for those of you watching, CURBIO, go in EXP World, go on EXP Enterprise, find out where those EXP preferred partners are, and then also just get educated on how you are able to help people solve problems. So guess what? Now that they know how to sell their house, and they know that they're not going to have to come out of pocket, because I don't want them spending money, because what do I want their money to go to? I want their money to go into the what? Down payment on the new house that I'm going to help them get. So I just got them pre-approved today. Now that's 2 and 1 when they started out with 0 because they didn't think they can do it. Right. So getting yourself educated on how you can help people solve problems, that's what your job is. That's why your checks have a comma in them when you close. All right. So as we talked about Thrive, THRIVE, I want to open up some questions. I want to go to Q&A, and I don't know if are we going back to Melanie? Do we have any questions from the audience that we can answer? They can direct it directly towards one of the panelists, or no. If so, just let me know. Put it in the chat. But I do have a few questions. as she starts to put those in. I have a question for you, LaShawn, because you said something. You made me think about something. So you said, take some time, slow down, learn the contract, learn a little bit about mortgages. You know, you got to learn this business before you can go. But I would say that there's a flip side to that coin, right? Somebody may say, well, so wait a minute. So am I supposed to hold off and just like not go out and get business? I thought the whole idea behind implementation was going out. Tabitha said, I don't even need business cards. I just need to go out and start talking to people and bump into some walls and make some stuff happen and figure it out on the backside. So what do I do? Am I waiting to start my business, or am I starting my business and figuring it out as I go?
So here's the thing. I don't think that, like, if you're working with a mentor, your mentor is probably a top producer. That mentor is not going to have time to show you how to work in Remind or transaction desk, or to or how to put someone into KV Core. We don't have time for that, but we can tell you how to structure a deal. You know, we can tell you how to get a client under contract, or we can tell you like how you assisted your client with cardio. We can give you advice such as that. But I'm not going to sit there with someone and say, okay, right click, left click, okay, hit the search bar. No, I'm not doing that. Because like you said, they have classes all day, every day in EXP world, your local board, your local MLS. They offer classes on how to use those tools. So, and I'm going to introduce you to a lender that's going to give you a mortgage class, and that's going to tell you the basics. What is FHA? What is VA? What is conventional? What is DCLSR? And all those other things that you need to know. You know, I'm going to get you those resources because I want you to know that. And I'm gonna give it to you really quick, like in your first week or two. But a top producer or a top mentor does not have time to do the basic things. We're here to put the money in your pocket.
That's good.
Can I talk to that, Mike?
Please.
Real quick. So there's three things that you're going to need as you grow up as an agent, right? So the first one's going to be training. You can get that from the EXP world, like Mike said, 60 to 80 hours a week, every week. The second is going to be mentorship. If you're a new agent, EXP is going to assign you a mentor. You ask that person pointed questions, and the ultimate level is going to be coaching. And that's what Chauncey mentioned. So you're going to go out and hire a coach. And all of us probably on this stage have a coach that we pay $1,000 or more a month to. So just think about that. If we have a coach, maybe you should go out and get a coach as well.
Talk about it. Coach is the shortest way to get from point A to point B. They will bend time for you. It's so true. Did anybody else want to add to that? I know somebody asked on YouTube, somebody asked, what does THRIVE stand for? So that's technology is T. H is health. Then we have relationships. And then we have implementation. And then we have value. And then lastly, education. Okay. So, and then someone else asked in the audience, someone asked, what do you look for? How do I know what I'm looking for? What should I be looking for in a mentor? So we're talking about selecting mentors and the shortest way to get from point A to point B. But what should I be looking for in a mentor? Any one of you?
I think that's the wrong question to ask. I think the right question to ask is, what are you looking to achieve? And I think that, you know, as a newer agent and someone that needs help, we tend to look outside of ourselves and look for guarantees from other people when we're not making guarantees to ourselves. So I would say that start with making a list of things that you would like to achieve from yourself, and then try to find someone that you best think can help you achieve that. Instead of thinking that there's some magical list of qualifications that a mentor should have, instead figure out what the hell it is that you want out of your business, what you want your life to look like, and then see who kind of aligns with that instead. And I think that that's a little bit of a better perspective to come at it from.
Absolutely. As a mentor myself, you know, one of the first things that I ask is, what are your goals?
Yeah.
And if you don't know what your goals are, I can't make your goals for you. I don't know what your bills look like. I don't know what your day-to-day looks like. I don't even know what your time and your money looks like. Remember, I'm always going to ask about your time. Talk to me about your time. Talk to me about your money, right? Like I need to know where we're starting from. And if you haven't even done the homework to know where you're starting from, but yet you're demanding that a mentor is going to be there for you and should be answering your questions and needs to be there to help you to fill out a contract, you're starting off on the wrong foot, right? And so there is a little bit of homework that you have to do for yourself. All right, so let's jump in. Where do we find a coach? If I'm looking to get a coach, where do I find this coach?
Google.
My current coach I found on Clubhouse during the pandemic. Everybody was on Clubhouse, right? And I found him on Clubhouse, and I just kind of stalked him over the years, ever since Clubhouse. And when I was in the market for a coach, I inboxed him and was like, "Hey, what you doing? Still coaching?" Because he seemed to be more into the automation, chat GPT world, all that stuff. And I wanted to know if he was still coaching. He was like, "Absolutely, I am." And, he took me on, and I was just, I'm just thrilled because he is such an amazing person and he has such a bright mind. And he's somebody that I really look up to. So you just have to find someone that you look up to and, just watch them for a minute. Don't just jump in. Follow them around social media, see what type of person they are, see what the messages they're putting out. Is it something that resonate with you? Watch their YouTubes. Check their personality. Make sure that, for me, I wanted a coach that didn't have anything to gain from my success or failure. You know what I'm saying? I wanted them to be financially sound already and only to be invested in me as a person. And it's because of it's what they do.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. As a coach and as a mentor, let me say this first of all. There is a difference between a coach and a mentor. Okay.
Yeah.
A mentor is somebody who gets paid on the back end. A coach gets paid up front, right? A coach is also going to hold your hand a little bit more. If you get assigned to an EXP mentor, don't expect for that person to be, on every single appointment with you and everything else. They're going to expect for you to do a lot of that homework for you. Expect for you to do a lot of your own homework. But, if you have a coach, a good coach is going to expect for you to do a lot of homework, but they're also going to hold you accountable to the homework that you had. And that's what most of us are really looking for. We're looking for that accountability. So I want to add to that and just say, as far as in my business, I have coaches that I don't even pay for. And they're great coaches. You know how? Tony Robbins is one of my coaches, right? Yeah, Tony Robbins is one of my coaches. Eric Thomas is a coach of mine. You name it, right? What am I talking about? I'm saying you can go to YouTube University and find your coach right now for absolutely $0, free 99, okay? And start diving into what they have. If you're looking for motivation, you're looking for somebody to hold you accountable, Eric Thomas will hold you accountable. I promise you, right? Les Brown's going to hold you accountable. Les Brown said, if you can look up, then you can get up, right? And so these are the types of things. If you're looking for that motivation, you don't have to look outside of yourself. You can look right on the screen that you're looking at right now, whether it's your phone or your computer. It's all available to you. And speaking of our screen, this is the last thing I wanted to add before we begin to transition. But man, speaking of screens, Chauncey fam, yeah, don't you roll your eyes at me like that. Chauncey fam is a TV star. Okay. Star. Okay. Spirit finger star. Okay. I'm gonna let you tell it. There's a little bitty show that millions of people happen to watch, and she happens to be, the new host of the show. So tell us about that, Chauncey. Where can we find you on this little bitty itty bitty show?
On A&E at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Central Time on A&E, Zombie House Flipping. And it's a house flipping show that now actually features 3 different cities. So Orlando, which Mike Collier, I'm pretty sure you made a cameo with the Orlando crew.
I'm famous. I'm famous too.
But we are the Dallas team, and then there's also a Tampa team. And so, yeah, it was pretty cool. It was an opportunity. They found me on social media, y'all. Use the tool, put some strategy behind it, be your authentic self, and people can reach out and find you. And so they found us in November of 2021. We went through the casting process and began filming in June of 2022. And our first season aired on the 28th of January. And we have 23 now. Actually, after yesterday's talk, we may have 24 episodes for our first season. So you guys will see me on A&E for about the next year.
Yes, can't have enough of you. All right, so I want to go a little bit deeper because you're so humble. I appreciate that. However, we do want to know some of the details. Like inquiring minds want to know, like, how, why? They reached out to you. What were you doing? What were you even doing on social media that made them say, "Ooh, I like her"? Because there's a whole bunch of. Let me just say, because there's a whole bunch of realtors on social media.
Yeah.
But many of them haven't posted anything since Christmas, so I'll give you that. Okay, some of y'all know who you are. But what were you doing that made you stand out to them and say, she is who we want?
You know, when I got on social media, I really, really just wanted to use it as a tool to expose myself to as many people as possible, but like literally expose myself. Not necessarily what I do, not necessarily, trying to sell to them, but to be my genuine self. So if that means I'm posting telling you how much I love rotisserie chickens and how I'm addicted to them, and every time I go to the grocery store, I got to buy one and then I never cook it, then like, I'm going to tell you that. If it's, the fact that I'm struggling with my weight at the moment, then I'm going to tell you that. And then, in the background, if it's that I'm selling houses and flipping houses, then that's there as well. And so it all actually really started with YouTube. I got on YouTube back in 2018. I started my YouTube channel, and within 3 months, a production company, like, guys, that's where they go to look for talent now. A production company reached out to me, and I signed on with them back then. A show never came from that. Then another one found me the next year from YouTube. Nothing ever came from that. And it was divine timing. It wasn't time for me to do anything like that. And then 2021, it actually rolled around, and funny story, I ignored him. I ignored the casting director that reached out to me because I was like, I don't want to sign with another company. Like, nothing's going to come of it. It's no big deal. And when he finally got me on the phone, he was like, no, girl, this is different. This is a whole show. It's been on for 4 seasons, and we just want to cast you for the 5th season. So, like, let's see what we can do. And here we are a year later.
Look at that. Look at that. Well, like you said, it's divine timing. This is for you to sign 2 other contracts and it didn't work out. But now it's working out.
I wasn't ready. It was supposed to happen now. If it would have happened then, I wouldn't have had the business that I have now. It happened now because I was able to join EXP, build out a revenue share group, start making money in all of these other ways that would then allow me to put the time into doing something like this. So also don't get discouraged if you don't get what you want right now, because right now is just not your time, but it's coming.
Okay. Well, with that, I want to say thank you guys for being on. Now, before I let you guys jump off, I just want to give you a minute or two to give me a final recap. What's your final thoughts? Final thoughts, just from each of the round table. Tabitha, I'm going to start with you. Final thoughts. What's your final thought on all of this?
I just want to say thank you so much to Fee, to EXP. Thank you, Mike, everyone on the panel. You all have been amazing. I'm looking forward to Ashley, so I'm going to stick around. To anyone that wants to reach out to me, please do on social media. I am Tabitha Caver everywhere. I would love the opportunity to get to know you. I'm old school. Let's go have some coffee. Let's meet in person. And I'm here to see you win, to see you be successful. So please reach out to me. And Chauncey, we're going to have to get together because, honey, I'm about to come down to Dallas with you.
There we go. Relationships. Wait, and Tabitha, you're out of Atlanta, correct?
Yes, born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, but I've been in Atlanta for over 12 years. So this is where I currently reside with my beautiful family. Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Because you offer enough coffee and stuff. People in California watching this, like, how am I going to catch up with her for coffee? Okay. So I just want to make sure. All right.
Fly me out there. Fly me out to wherever you are.
Well, hey, she's trying to get flued out for coffee. Lord have mercy. All right. So, all right, LaShawn, I'm coming to you next. Talk to me. What's your final thoughts on all of this?
It feels good to be a friend of Chauncey. Chauncey is my cousin on TV because I talk about this. Y'all know my cousin Chauncey. Damn. Yeah. But I want to talk. If you're on the struggle bus, and I just want to say this because we had a couple questions that didn't get answered. If you're on the struggle bus, you're not talking to enough people. You should be talking to at least 10 people a day. If you talk to 10 people a day and you do all your follow-ups, LaShawn promises you that you will have more business than you can keep up with. You'll be referring some of it out. The reason why realtors don't have enough business, again, is because we do not talk to enough people.
That's true.
Okay? Can't be a secret agent in this market. No secret agency. I am grateful for the opportunity. I love you, Fee. Thank you, Melanie, for all that you do for us. Thank you, Mike. It's always such a pleasure. My cousin Chauncey, this one's PD. It was nice meeting you, Tabitha and Will. I gotta follow you guys. You a Detroit girl. What up, though?
What up,
And
though? Hey, and real quick, how can they follow you? How can they follow you, LaShawn? How can they find you?
at Team Peterson Jackson on all social media platforms. Team Peterson Jackson.
Team Peterson Jackson. No hyphen?
No hyphen.
No hyphen.
At Team Peterson Jackson.
Straight no chaser. There we go. All right.
Straight no chaser. Thank you.
Will, talk to us. You got your IG name right there on your screen, so that's pretty easy. Tell us what market you're out of, your final thoughts, and how can we connect with you?
Yeah. So what I would say is when I got into the business just 4 years ago, there weren't on all the stages and in my local market, there weren't a lot of people that looked like me doing it at the level I wanted to do it. So there's groups like this that really open your eyes and let you know that you can do this. So definitely, guys, tap into this organization because everything that you need is here, guys. My name is Will. I'm out of Southern California, and thank you guys for tuning in.
Yes, absolutely. All right, and you guys can follow him at Will Higgins _, right? Is that underscore?
Dose. Yes.
Dose. Okay. All right. Okay. The reason why is because a lot of the underscores are the spam accounts. So we always have to check now. Okay. So good. So yours does have an underscore. All right. Chauncey fam, coming to you.
All right.
Talk to us.
So Chauncey fam, I'm here in the Dallas-Fort Worth market. If you guys are anywhere, in the vicinity, hit me up. Just go to chaunceyfam.com or myrealestaterebel.com. They go to the same place. And it will give you all the links to find me in different places. And my just final word to you as a realtor, as a new agent, as just a business owner, an entrepreneur, if you happen to be watching this, is connection over perfection should be your motto for 2023. If every single day that you wake up in your business and your goal is to connect, like genuinely connect on a level with as many people as possible, figure out what their needs are and how you can help them, whether that is you directly or through someone in your network or just a solution that you can bring into their lives. If that is your goal every single day, is to connect with people rather than to appear perfect, whether that's on social media, whether that's in your marketing collateral, whatever the case may be, then your business will thrive.
Absolutely. I love that. And if I can wrap everything up with mine, follow me at the Mike Collier on all spaces, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. But if I could give a final thought, mine is truly that you don't have to be perfect to get started. You just got to get started. And relationships are key. You don't have any idea how meeting someone at just an event or some place and a happenstance could turn into maybe not a client, but that person could refer you. Why? Because there's something that they saw in you. And so I'll say, and I say this many times, your story is not for you. Your story is actually for other people. The life that you live, the challenges that you're facing and that you've made through, the valley that you might be in right now, or the hilltop, the mountaintop that you might be on right now, that story is not just for your life. It truly is for you to share it with other people. And through that authenticity, they start to see a vision of themselves. They see a little bit of themselves in your story, and it emboldens them. It encourages them to step out on faith and step out towards their own purpose. And then they know that they can, if you can make it, I can make it too. If I can make it, you can make it too. And that's what this is all about. So when we start talking about authenticity and you bring that to social media and you're bringing that into your relationships, amazing things can happen. And listen, we all want to see you at the top. All right. We'll either see you at the top or from the top. Right. So here we are. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the panel, but we've got so much more for you because we've got Miss Ashley Fox coming up here in just a few minutes. Thank you, everybody.
I think my mic is muted. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Wasn't that first session amazing? So we're just so grateful for the panel. You guys were amazing, amazing. So I am here to introduce our keynote speaker. She is amazing, y'all. We cannot wait for her to come on board. Her name is Ashley Fox. She is a Howard University graduate. She is an expert as a financial education specialist and has been a Wall Street analyst for years. And after that, she then transitioned over to becoming the owner and CEO of Empify, which is and she'll tell you a little bit more about how she created, which is it's a fintech startup that is revolutionizing the way adults and children learn about how to build wealth. So I'm going to have her come on a little bit, but she's going to tell you a little bit about her story and her journey since leaving her Wall Street career, that she's appeared in major platforms like CNBC, Forbes, Fox News, ABC, Huffington Post, Glamour Magazine, etc. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about Ashley. Ashley, come on up. Would love to have you come on up. So we are so excited. And so y'all, without further ado, I want to turn the stage over to Ashley. She's going to talk to you all for about 45 minutes and then come back and we're going to do some Q&A. So make sure you have your questions ready to go. And so Ashley, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Just checking. You guys can see me and you can hear me. Are we good?
Y'all
Let me know.
Does she look good? Thumbs up, everybody. If you're in the auditorium, give a thumbs up if you can hear.
All
Put
right,
one in the chat.
Cool.
Perfect.
All right.
All right.
We are good to go. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you to all the panelists from the last session. I was learning a lot. I definitely was tuned in backstage with you guys. All right. So can we get the presentation on the screen? I just want to make sure okay, good. All right. Tech check. You can see me, you can hear me, but you can also see the presentation on the screen. Let me know if in the chat. Okay, cool. All right. Before we get started, tell me about you guys. Where are you guys based? I'm from Philadelphia. I'm actually in Philly right now, but I do live in Atlanta. Where are you guys from? What career paths are you guys on? Talk to me. Do we have any moms? Do we have any grandparents? Do we have real estate agents? Like, I want to know more about where you guys are. Talk to me, how you guys have been feeling, what's been going on. If you are here, I want to make sure, one, you are here because you've been wanting to learn how to make money. You want to learn how to invest, right? How many of you are parents looking to build generational wealth, right? How many of you are currently employed and you want to bring in extra income? How many of you have been in your own way, but now you're ready to step outside of your comfort zone and really, really grow, right? How many of you want to grow your business? How many of you want to learn how to invest, but not sure where to begin, what to do, right? So if you are tuning into this session, right, I just want to make sure if you are here, you are somebody that wants to grow personally or you want to grow financially, because the focus of our session today is to get you into a space where you recognize, despite what is going on in the market, this is the best time for you to win. This is the best time for you to grow. This is the best time for you to build wealth. I don't care what they say on the news. I don't care what is going on right now personally. I want to make sure that you understand that because we are in an economic downturn, no matter where you are, I see tons of people from all different parts of the United States, which is phenomenal. But I want you to know it's time for you to build wealth, right? So I don't care if you currently are working at a job, you have a side hustle, if you are full-time in your real estate business, I don't care where you are in a space financially. I want you to know that we are here to talk about growing you personally and also growing you financially. Now, I need to know if we're ready. Type in "let's go" in the chat. I need you to you can type it in the chat. You can say "let's go." I want to make sure that we are tapped in, we are tuned in, and we are ready to grow. Now, when you guys think of where you are financially, right? What feelings pop up? Like, I want you to really take a second and where you are financially, what feelings are popping up, right? Because the feelings that are popping up right now is what is dictating what your future is going to be. I think for so often we let the news dictate our business, right? Interest rates are rising, consumers are spending less, layoffs are happening, right? When we see this word recession, this economic downturn in the news, it's nothing but negativity. And I think we allow that negativity to dictate our businesses, to dictate our thoughts, our feelings, our bank accounts, right? So when it comes to building wealth, right? If we don't learn anything today, it's really about changing your mindset, right? So you right now are probably in a space. How is it possible for me to even invest, for me to make money during a recession? How is it possible to create passive income during a recession? How will a recession impact my career, impact my business? And let's be honest, how many of you have had those negative thoughts in your mind, questioning what you can do, how you're going to persevere, where these clients are coming from? I heard them talking about in the last session, talking to more people, getting in front of more people, getting more clients. Yes, it's important for you to make money, but how many of you are discouraged, right? Or have that doubt at any point in time, thinking about, what if I lose clients? What if I lose my job? What if I lose some money, right? What should I be doing? Where should I start, right? Now I want you to fast forward 10 years, right? Let's assume this recession is over, and where I want you to start to really visualize where you see yourself financially, right? So I want you to really, really think, because before you start to take action on all the things you're learning during this entire event, you have to have the right mentality. And the right mentality comes from the right thoughts that you're having. So if we focus on what we want our life to look like, because I want you to recognize, I don't care who you were yesterday. I don't care where you are from, how much money you make, what your credit score is. I don't care how you grew up. I don't care the size of your bank account. Who you are today has only gotten you this far. And who you are going to be tomorrow is dictated by the decisions you make today. So in order for you to dictate your tomorrow and pick up that pen to write the next chapter of your life, you have to look forward and think about what life will look like, right? So if I fast forward 10 years, right? You're talking to Ashley, if I tell you about me in a second. I literally told my mom yesterday, 10 years, I think that's a good enough time frame for me to build $1 billion business, have some sort of acquisition or IPO of my company, and officially say, hey, Ashley Marie Fox is a billionaire. I think I can do it in 10 years, right? What does it feel like for me to be a billionaire? What kind of car am I driving? What kind of plane or planes am I riding in, right? What does my family look like? What does my bank account balance look like? And I have to really sit and say to myself, am I walking and talking and operating like I'm a billionaire? So you may not want to be a billionaire. You may not want to, it doesn't matter. I need you to think about the next 10 years, and I want you to write it down. And I want you to write it out as if you were painting a picture of what life will look like. What will your business look like? What will your bank account look like? What will your social media impact look like? What does your family look like? And you have to get very, very clear, because if all you're thinking about is bills, guess what you're going to have? A bunch of bills. If all you're thinking about is how you're losing clients, guess what you're going to have? More clients literally pulling out, right? Not clients not responding to you. If you're stuck thinking about what's wrong with life, that's the life you're creating, right? So I need you to really, really start to think about what life is like what life is going to look like in the next 10 years. Now it's time to visualize what you want. 2023 is here. You are ready to change how you handle and grow your money, but you need to know the accounts, the investment strategies, the habits, and the mindset that you need to have to get that life you're thinking about. I want you to imagine if you're able to set yourself up and make money as a result of the recession. I want you to imagine if you're able to collect passive income by starting small but building big, right? Really think about this, internalize this. What if you can make money during a recession because we're in a recession? What if you can start to collect passive income but build big, but you're just starting out small, right? I'm not saying you got to have a lot of money. Start small so that we can build big, right? Imagine if you're able to stop working for money and instead have billionaires working for you while you are sleeping. Imagine if you were the first person in your family to break generational curses by investing and giving them the chance to live the life of their dreams, right? All of this is on you. We are no longer going to point our finger at the real estate market. We are no longer going to point our finger at the government, at our customers, at our family. No more. We have to look in the mirror, because you make the decisions that happen next, right? It's not about that. We know that we can move in spite of. I bet all of you here are undefeated at life. There is nothing that has stopped you at life because you are still here. So we are undefeated at life. Therefore, this recession is a piece of cake for all of us, right? Now, I want to tell you a little bit about me, because through my journey of quitting my job, losing everything, working during a recession, then making money as a result of another stock market crash, and building a business through a pandemic, I want you to be able to understand the things that I've been through, the thought process that I've had. And I'm going to give you 5 key lessons that I need you to write down. So get your notepad and pen. I'm going to give you a couple seconds. Get your notepad and pen, because I'm here to actually give you tangible, actionable steps, right? And while I do that, I'm going to tell you who you're talking to, why I am here, and literally what we're going to do to be able to grow your mind, your business, and your bank account. So first things first, you are talking to Ashley Marie Fox. I am the CEO and founder of Empathy, which is a word that I made up, and it's the word empower and modify merged together. We are a fintech startup that is revolutionizing the way adults and children are learning how to build wealth. So you know how growing up, a lot of us, especially me, didn't grow up with tons of money, right? I was not a trust fund baby, but I am creating trust fund babies, right? We may not have been taught financial education, and we typically learn through all the financial mistakes that we made, right? We're not taught how to buy a house, how to get a credit card, how to manage our debt, how to invest our money, how to manage our money, right? So I realized that there's a problem in this world for something that we're using every day of our life. Why is it not taught in our school system? And I felt like I'm going to be the one to create something that is going to redefine how people see themselves and the role of money in their life. And just literally during the pandemic, within Empathy, we launched a Wealth Builders Community app. So there's an app that is in the App Store where it is a membership-based platform where we are like the Netflix of finance. So all the things that we wish we knew about, all the things we want to do with our money is all housed in our app. We have over 250 hours of financial classes, tools, resources with thousands of people on our platform who, just like all of you tuning into this session, want to build wealth, want to make a difference in this world, but they need to be around like-minded people. And sometimes we don't really get access to those types of people or those resources, right? So the woman you are talking to today, I've created financial programs, courses, and guides that have impacted millions of people all over the world. I am a former Wall Street analyst, and my job was to help millionaires and billionaires literally manage their money. I kept rich people rich. If you had at least $25 million, it was my job and my team's my job, as well as my team's, to manage your money, right? So for the past 15 years, I've had experience working with millionaires and billionaires. The everyday person I have taught in prison systems, I have taught in school systems. Literally, I have taught an 8-year-old how to build wealth. So if I can teach an 8-year-old how to invest, how to take the money they have or the allowance that they get, I can show you guys how to start building wealth with something like literally $10. I don't care what you start with. I'm here to change your mind so that we can grow your bank account, because when you grow, your bank account grows, right? So the first lesson I want you to know, write this down. Start envisioning and planning your post-recession life now. Be specific. Now I want you to do this because this really works, right? Let's say from those of you who are looking to grow your business, right? Who are looking to just grow your bank account. This recession may have hit you hard, impacted your bank account, your clients, everything, right? Fast forward and this recession is over. What does life look like for you? I want you to be specific, right? So you have to first envision what you want. So that's kind of like having a vision board, right? You put the picture up there, you know what you want. But now you need to envision as if it's here, right? So it's one thing to say, hey, let me think of something. What is something that I want, right? I love Paris and I want to go to the French Open, right? That's one thing I want to do, right? So I'm going to put the French Open, which I have on my vision board, right? Now that's one thing to look at it, walk by it in the house, see it on your car, things like that. Cool. But now you have to operate like it's here. Now I'm envisioning, what am I wearing to the French Open, right? Where are my seats? Right? Like, how do I even buy a ticket to the French Open, right? Where am I going? Who am I connecting with? Which matches, what tennis players do I want to see? By the way, I love tennis. Tennis is my sport. But I'm envisioning what life is like as if I'm at the French Open already, right? Then you need to envision as if it already happened. As if it already happened. Fast forward to the end of the year, I'm sitting here scrolling through my Instagram, looking at all the pictures that I post that are old, right? I'm planning to go to the Australian Open, which happens in like January, right? So really start to program your mind so that the things that you want are at the forefront of your mind, because what you think about, you bring about. So again, I don't care where you are financially, what mistakes you have made in the past. Let's really start to envision what you want post this recession. So my vision in college at Howard University, the best HBCU in the world, was to work on Wall Street, right? Now, here's the thing. I did everything I could at Howard to work on Wall Street, 4 internships. I landed my dream career. By the time I was like 22, I was making 6 figures, right? I was managing money for millionaires and billionaires, but I was the only Black female, right? And I don't know how many of you have been the only Black in the room. Sometimes that's a bit intimidating, especially when you're like 20-something years old, right? I was not the best employee. I actually had low self-esteem. And to the world, I was rich. How many of you around your friends and family, they think you're the one with the money, right? They thought I had money. And I realized, no, I'm around millionaires and billionaires. I don't have the money. These people have the money, right? but I also had no concept of money or bills. So, but one thing I realized is that, hey, I deserve to be like that billionaire client. I deserve to be that JP Morgan client that I was serving. I was on the wrong end of the table, because no matter how hard I worked, I would have not been that client who had at least $25 million. I literally calculated it, right? So I am that crazy millennial who quit her job and said, hey, I am going to create something that is going to financially empower the 99% of the world Wall Street overlooks, right? So I quit my job. Now, I know this is a sexy thing in the world. I was that millennial before entrepreneurship was sexy. I quit because I wanted to follow my heart. I realized I was here for something bigger. Like a lot of you know, how many of you feel like I'm here for something bigger? This isn't it, but I'm not quite sure what it is, but I hit that ceiling, right? And I know exactly how that feels. So I quit my job. And so when I quit my job, what most people don't know is that I had the best career on Wall Street, but after I left, I was not good with my money. I was making six figures, but I looked good and I traveled the world, and that's all that mattered, right? I left my Wall Street job to become an entrepreneur, and I went from having $30,000 to $0 in a matter of months, right? I was making thousands of dollars in my investments, but I needed to survive. So I started to invest in the stock market because I was around millionaires and billionaires. I truly believe that success leaves clues. Follow the blueprint. If these billionaire clients are investing, why isn't Ashley Marie Fox buying stock? So when they started with 100 million, I started with $100, and literally share by share, I was building my portfolio. But here's the thing. I actually got evicted from my Harlem apartment. I ended up selling all my investments until I had nothing left. And so how many of you know what it feels like to be waiting on for that money to clear in your account, waiting for that client to sign those docs and it doesn't go through? No one told me that when you build a business, money does not come every 2 weeks like a job. That's essentially what I thought, right? So essentially, I went from having six figures to having no money in my bank account. I had a 2008 Hyundai Elantra, and I had to move back to Philly to sleep on my parents' couch to build this company, Empify. Remember, the word that I made up. But I truly believe, because I saw what was possible. Let's go back to that vision. I saw what I wanted. And I was around the money. I saw what was possible. And so I knew that it was possible for me, right? Now, here's what I realized. Investments can help you start your journey to financial freedom, right? I also realized that we all deserve to be that wealthy client. Like, how many of you really believe that, like, hey, I can do this? And if you don't believe you can do this, we need to have another conversation, because we have to instill that belief, because it does not matter the color of your skin. It does not matter your gender. It does not matter your age. You have the pen to write the next chapter of your life. What are those pages going to look like, right? I also realized that spending money and looking good had nothing to do with creating passive income. So yes, I looked good on paper. Yes, I looked good on social media. Yes, I traveled the world. But what was I doing to build wealth? What are you guys doing to break generational curses, right? It's great that you're doing what you can now, but what about tomorrow, right? What about our family's legacy, right? If we did not grow up with the wealth, it is our job to create it for the next generation, right? So let's fast forward to this Ashley you're talking to, right? I now run my fintech startup. I travel all over the world, and I can run my business from anywhere, right? And I love what I do. I drive my dream car. I'm a former writer for Black Enterprise, Essence, and Forbes. I'm an international speaker. Last year, I was named one of the top voices in finance on LinkedIn. I was also featured in Inc. magazine as a Black founder, literally looking to grow the economic wealth gap that we all understand, right? And so my company, Empify, has partnered with hundreds of organizations, from Vanguard to Nielsen to Twitter. We just partnered with Morningstar not too long ago, Chase Bank, TD Bank. We essentially work with a lot of organizations who cannot financially empower you, right? We are we translate that language to pull that greatness you need to take this business you have to the next level, but to also know what to do with the money. I mean, we all aren't here just to work so we can spend. We are working to sustain. Literally generation after generation. This is what matters in our community specifically, right? I've also been a financial advisor that has helped my clients. I've literally had clients that make $30,000 a year, entrepreneurs, single mothers, people on welfare, and I've helped my clients invest over $2 million. And these are people, probably like some of you, who sometimes don't feel like they even have enough to survive, right? And so the woman you're talking to today is the founder and CEO of Empify. I became a millionaire running my dream company. I have helped millions of people across the world, and I've also helped over 5,000 people become first-time investors. I've been on TV, I've been featured in CNBC, ABC, all of that stuff. But I want you to understand that This was the vision for Ashley at 21. I just turned 34. This was the vision I saw, right? So you got to start to really, really think about who do you want to be in spite of what is going on in the world, right? So lesson number 2, write this down. Start investing. And you cannot tell me that because you're not making what you used to, or because the market is down or your business is down, that you cannot afford to pay yourself, right? One thing you have to recognize, we are phenomenal at making everybody rich, right? We are phenomenal. How many of you spent money at Target recently? How many of you went shopping on Amazon? How many of you have spent time on social media, right? I literally just bought ketchup on Amazon, right? We are talking about some of the biggest and best companies in this world. We are loyal consumers to these companies, but how many of you are loyal to building a legacy for your family? How many of you are loyal to literally paying yourself? We work so hard and we give all our money to everybody, and we look up and say, well, how come I feel like I don't have anything? And then we let the economy, we let our clients, we let our family, we let everybody dictate how your life is supposed to be. So I challenge all of you. I don't care if you start with $5. If we have to $5 our way to $1 million, let's get it, right? So one of the first things you need to do is open a brokerage account. Write this down. I know all of you know what a real estate broker is, right? You all know what a real estate broker is. A brokerage account is the middleman for investors. They connect the buyer of an investment to the seller of an investment, right? It takes less than 5 minutes to open a brokerage account, right? In order for you to start investing now, one of the ways I'm talking about is for you to start investing in the stock market. The market is down right now, baby. And when I say down, that means on sale. You've got some of the best cell phone providers, some of the best TV networks, some of the best e-commerce companies, some of the best and biggest employers in America that are less than $200. Less than $200, right? Everything is on sale. So what I want you to do now, I know some of you are saying, I'll get to it where, okay, well, what accounts do I open, right? Okay, I hear you. This sounds exciting. I'll get to that. But before you go open an account and start asking all these questions, here's how you start really investing. Make a list of companies you know, use, and believe in. Because it's not about buying and investing in what you see on the internet. It's not about what that investment guru, because at this point, we can all say, people showing us how to make money on the internet, how to invest, financial literacy, it is trendy, which is a good thing if you ask me, because when I quit my job in 2013, nobody was talking about investing, especially in the Black community, right? So we now have the opportunity to play a game that we once didn't know how to. Now it's about time you start to strategically organize what to do and how to do it. But before you buy anything, why not invest in the companies you give your money to? Think about it. As a business, they got to generate revenue. How do companies grow? They grow their client base. They grow their revenue. Would you invest in you? Right? Are you constantly spending money at certain places? These companies are making money off of you. The rich get rich because we consume. And if you are African American watching this right now, we literally have a $1.6 trillion buying power. That's money after we pay our bills. But it's not that we don't have money. We just don't give our money a job, right? So if you're going to go out and work for money, whether you are running your business, whether you are employed, you got to start putting your money to work. Start saying, hey, if I'm going to give my money to this cell phone company that I buy, whose phone I buy every time a new one comes out, if I'm going to pay this cell phone bill every single month, if I'm going to go shopping at this company every other day, right? Why not own the company? And that is what the stock market allows you to do. So while you are out here making money in real estate, however you're making your money, that is phenomenal. But you are not meant to create money one way. You are here to strengthen your last name, build that legacy, and start playing the game like the rich folks do. And I'm literally telling you, this is what I used to do for a living, right? Now, this is important. As I started investing, because I saw the billionaires doing it, I started to realize that you can use your investments to accommodate your life, right? It's not just about retirement, right? I don't even like that word. It's about doing what I want and having these companies work for me. If I'm becoming part owner of a company when I buy stock in it, or the company I build, right? I want that company and the money that I make as a result of this investment to help me do the things that I want. And sometimes it's not just paying bills or paying down debt, right? I know we want to pay down our debt. I know we want to buy things, but what do you want, right? So I booked a one-way ticket to Paris, literally the summer of 2021. It was kind of like the Eat, Pray, Love trip, where I wanted to figure out who I was, what I wanted to do, and where I was going in life, right? But here's the thing. I lived in Paris for about 2 months, and I stayed in 4 and 5-star hotels. But guess who flew me to Paris, paid for my meals, paid for my nice hotels? Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. Because when I went to Paris, my stocks that I bought during the last market crash paid for my trip. And these are screenshots on the screen of when I sold. Now, these prices you see are before the stock split. Now, Amazon and Tesla are like really like a lot cheaper. But I want you to know, these are companies I chose to buy at that point in time. I am a 34-year-old auntie, right? I don't have any kids. You want to make sure you do your research. You want to start to get very clear, because when you buy stock in a company, you are becoming part owner of a business, right? So this is for educational purposes only. And I want you to know, I don't care what you choose to buy, but if you're going to be out here making this money, you got to put these companies to work and live the life you want, right? I literally lived off my stocks. My stocks helped me build Amplify, and my stocks helped me sustain Amplify when I didn't have the capacity to want to run my business. My stocks paid my team's payroll, right? My stocks gave me the clarity I needed to be the woman you're talking to today. So it's not just about investing because it's cool. Put these companies to work to create the life that you want for yourself, right? So the Ashley you see on the screen, the one making $5,500 a month, she was working at one of the best investment banks in the world. But the Ashley on the other side makes over $250,000 a month. Same woman. She looks good too, but a different mindset. One Ashley believed that all she could be was an analyst on Wall Street. The other Ashley recognized that I can change the world and I have no cap on my income capabilities. No one dictates my future. Nobody writes the checks for my bank account. I create the money. So I need you to get out of a space where you have a one-track mindset, right? Be phenomenal at what you're good at, but put the money you're making to work, because this is what wealthy people do. The wealth gap got bigger during the pandemic. How? Because companies got bigger. Billions of dollars were made and the wealth gap got bigger. Why? Because the everyday person got a refund check. And when they got the refund check, they spent it. And when they spent it, they gave it to the next billionaire who owned the company they gave their money to. Now, I'm not saying don't pay your bills, but I promise you, some of you got an extra $100 that you chose to spend because you wanted to, not because you had to. Some of you may have more than $100. Some of you may only have $50. Some of you may only have $5 a week. That's fine. If you gave me $5 a week for the rest of my life, I would take it. So don't downplay small amounts of money, because a whole lot of something small creates something big for you later. And that's what matters. Our later is being planned today. Our later and our future and the way we see life, our business, our bank accounts, our families, our trajectory is created today with the mindset that we're cultivating. So let's think, right? What food and beverages do you often consume? What apps do you use all the time? What clothes do you wear? What do you do for fun and entertainment? What television networks do you use? What phone do you use? List these companies out, because there's a high chance, more than half of them you can own stock in. More than half of them. Now, here's how the stock market works for those of you who don't know, right? Essentially, look at stock like a box of pizza, right? How many of you had pizza? I don't really eat pizza like I used to, but listen, we understand how the pizza pie is the company. The slice is called a share. Each share has a price, right? So just imagine a company like EXP chopped up in teeny little pieces. The more pieces you own, the shares you own of the company, the more equity you have in that business, the more stock you have in that business. What matters is you want that stock price to go up. Now, stocks are also like sneakers. Think about Jordans, right? When people buy Jordans, especially the cool ones, the price goes up because they're in demand. So when everybody's buying the stock, the price goes up. When everyone's selling the stock, the price goes down. But think about the corny sneakers in a sneaker store, right? When nobody wants the sneaker, they put the price on sale. It's supply and demand, right? Now, that's a basic way for you to understand, but just envision it. If you could be part owner, have a slice of somebody's billion-dollar business, whose slice would you want to own? Because you believe the value of that piece, no matter how many you own, is going to grow over time, right? That's how you got to start to think. Now, let's talk real estate. This is how you make money as an investor, right? The buyer of an investment has the cash. So I have that brokerage account I talked about. I deposit money into that account. I say, you know what? I want to buy Amazon, right? I'm an avid user, consumer of Amazon, and I own a lot of shares of Amazon, right? Me and Amazon, till death do us part, baby, okay? If I want to buy stock in Amazon, I'll deposit money in my brokerage account. I then go to my brokerage account and say, hey, I want to go buy 5 shares of Amazon, right? Think of it like the seller of a house. You have the buyer who has the cash. You buy the house. In exchange for the cash, you have the house, the asset. Now, let's say you bought a house for $100,000. It's not that you now have $100,000 in cash. You have an asset that is worth $100,000. Now, the goal is for the value of the home to go up, right? Now, would you sell the home if you bought a house for $100,000 and the price dropped to $50,000? Would you sell it? Like, really ask yourself, right? You're probably going to say no, but you're also going to say, I'll wait till it goes up. So if that's the case, the market is down. Why are we freaking out when we're not giving these companies the ability to bounce back? It's a recession. Oh, everybody's dropping right now. Everybody's laying off people. Consumers are spending less, which means companies are making less. If companies are making less, investors don't like that. So instead, they sell some of the shares. It drops the price. Does that mean that these companies are going bankrupt? No. Does that mean that every company in America, because of the recession, is going to fall off the face of the earth? Absolutely not. And let me tell you something. You don't learn anything from me today. I want you to understand the country that we live in. Remember during the pandemic when, we weren't going outside, people were losing jobs. It was all, it was mayhem. What did the government do when they needed the economy to work, right? America has the power to print money, meaning when things get bad in America means you're not spending as much money. Bad in America means you're not taking out more debt. Bad in America means you're not using your credit cards more, right? So the same thing that you're trying to get out of is the same thing America wants you to stay in. Really? Because America makes money when you take out debt. America makes money when you take out mortgages. America makes money when you spend money. So when the economy was slowing, the government said, not the government, the Fed said, hey, let me give out free money to the world, AKA $2 trillion of stimulus checks. And why they give that? So you could go spend it, because America is like a merry-go-round. The merry-go-round has to move. It can't go too fast, but it definitely can't go too slow. And so essentially, as an investor, you got to take a step back and look at the economy. It's slow right now. Will it always be like that? No. Has it always been this way? No. We actually had a run of like 9-10 years where the economy was winning. No one talked about it then, but we get scared now, right? And I understand. So it's not until you sell the stock like a property that you get the cash. So if I'm an investor in Amazon, it's not until I sell my Amazon stock that I get the cash for my investment, right? So now, for those of you who want to start small, here's a free guide that I've literally given to thousands of people. 5 ways to start investing with less than $100. It's a simple guide. For those of you who don't want to start big, go to empify.com/free guide, empify.com/free guide. Short, sweet, to the point. This guide will validate that I don't care how much money you do or do not have, you have the ability to start small, right? Now, if you were to invest in my company, Empify, what do you want to know about me, right? These are things you have to think about when you buy stock in companies, right? Here are some ideas. Who is this woman you're talking to on the screen? Can she really take this company to $1 billion valuation? Absolutely. How much money does Empify make? Are they profitable? How much debt does Empify have? What's Empify's vision? Who's Empify's competitor, right? How does Empify make money What are their good products, right? These are things you want to know. So before you go invest in anybody's company, big or small, you have to understand if the company actually makes money and what they do. All of this information when you invest in the stock market is visible, public information, right? Here's an example, right? We all know Zoom. In 2020, March 2020, when the market crashed, Zoom dropped to $107, right? Zoom, literally less than a year later, was $433. Just Zoom. Why? Because they were killing it. They were at the right place at the right time. Now, I knew Zoom wasn't going to kill it for the rest of their life because outside was going to open. But at the same time, this is what I'm saying when I say just because the world makes you think everything's falling apart, who's winning right now, right? Who's making money right now? And it's not just about who's making money. What companies will bounce back as a result of the recession, right? Something as simple as Zoom, right? Zoom. So I put this slide in here to show you some of the companies you know every day. You don't got to go find some fancy old company, right? Some of these companies you use every day. Do your research, look into these companies, get clear on what Wall Street's saying about them. But just understand a lot of these companies are very inexpensive. But you want to be on top when the market bounces back, on top of your business and on top of your investments. Here's an example of Amazon, right? Amazon's less than $100 right now. How many of you have spent more money on Amazon and has spent more than $100 on Amazon in a month? I spent more than $100 on Amazon in a matter of seconds, right? Some of the biggest and best companies. So those of you who want to start small, that's fine. But you can no longer say you're not starting at all, right? You got to get in this game. If you're going to give your money to these companies, at least become part owner of these companies, right? So here, take a picture of the screen. Here are some of my favorite investment accounts, right? These are just investment accounts that I've used, members in our Wealth Builders community have used, that I have for myself, my niece, literally. And if you are international, some international accounts, and these are just simple accounts. So these are your real estate agents on the screen, right? Except it's technology. You use these accounts to invest in companies, right? That's all you need. Take a picture of the screen. You just need simple information like your social, your date of birth, information about your beneficiaries and your bank account number and routing number. Nothing technical, nothing ridiculous. You don't need to know math. You need to have a certain amount of money. Just get the account open. Make the commitment to say, hey, I'm going to focus on building my business, focus on growing my bank account. But with the money that I do have, I'm going to put that to work, right? Lesson number 3, get clear on what you want money for, right? And then build a plan. Gain clarity and determine your time horizon, right? I knew when I bought stock in Zoom, I was holding it for a year, max 2 years. Get clear on how long you want to build this wealth with the investments you make. Some of you, when you invest in real estate, right, you decide how long you want to hold this property. Is this a quick flip or am I trying to build cash flow with this? You want to hold for a while until the market bounces back. You got to make those exact decisions when you're investing in these companies you're giving your money to, right? What's your time horizon? We often have a vision for the destination without an exact address. Let's go back to that vision. Are you crystal clear on what this life looks like? Are you crystal clear on what you want your business to be? What you want your social media following to be? What you want? Some of us want money and we don't even know what we want money for, right? I remember before we crossed over $1 million, there was a point where I didn't even know how to spend $1 million. That's probably why I didn't make $1 million. So many of us have these financial goals, but we don't even know what to do with the money. You don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. You give me $1 million, I can burn through $1 million in literally probably 48 hours because I know exactly what I need $1 million for to be able to build this business and Ashley Marie Fox even bigger than what we are today. Get clarity on your risk tolerance, right? Get clear on your goals. What habits do you have to let go of? What habits do you have to cultivate to create the life that you want, right? When we think about risk tolerance, now pay attention to this, all my real estate people in here. Which game do you want to play as an investor? Do you want passive income or do you want high growth and appreciation? Do you want the income or do you want the flip? Because that matters when you're investing, right? You got to make a decision. The income is more consistent. The high growth, the appreciation might be a little inconsistent. It might take some time, but you got to get clear on what you're able to stomach. Because those high growth companies you can invest in, they might go up and down, but you believe in their potential. The passive income investments, those are the more stable companies. That's like buying a house in a suburb with a good tenant. You might not flip the property, but you got the consistent cash flow. High growth and appreciation is like buying a property in an up and coming gentrified neighborhood. Not the best tenants right now, but you know you can buy that property and flip it later on down the line. But you got to make a decision. Which game do you want to play, right? So here's what I did. I invested monthly during a market crash. I thought big and long term. I bought dividend stocks and REITs. I had growth as well, right? I sold over $30,000 worth of my stocks, and that's when I lived in Paris, right? So you have to get very clear on the game you want to play. Now, lesson number 4, explore different types of real estate for passive income. If you do not know what a real estate investment trust is, I need you to Google it. Start to consider investing in REITs, and let me explain why, right? Now, a REIT is essentially you owning stock in a company that owns, operates, and manages commercial real estate, right? Commercial real estate. So they have the money, they acquire the property, they go get the tenants, right? They collect the income, and a portion of the income that they receive, they got to give to you. By law, REITs have to pay out 90% to their shareholders. The question is, are you an investor in a REIT, and are you collecting that income? Imagine having access to passive income without having to take out debt, without having to manage a tenant, without having to fix anything. Your job is to sit back and collect income, but your job is to find the best real estate investor who can manage all these properties, build all these properties, and get this commercial real estate, get these spaces filled with tenants, right? So these are the different types of REIT properties. You got industrial real estate. For example, you ever think about when I order all these things on Amazon, where do they store all of my products? They store it in warehouses. Amazon is the tenant to a lot of REITs, right? Hospitality. When you think about going to hotels, a lot of these hotels are not in the game of real estate. They're in the game of hospitality. They pay rent to a REIT. Office buildings. I bet you if you live in a major city, those buildings in the skyline, they're probably owned by REITs. REITs are owned by real estate companies, individuals, or REITs. That's it. Retail. How many of you go to the mall? Simon Property is one of the largest mall operators literally in America, right? When you go to the mall and you spend at this store, that store is paying Simon rent. What if you own Simon, right? You got to think about healthcare, data centers. You know, when you how many of you kids play Fortnite? How many of you use your cell phone and have cloud storage? That storage is stored in a data center. A lot of data centers are owned by REITs, right? Now, the reason that I talk about REITs is not just because a lot of us are in this real estate industry, because we are in a day and age where interest rates are rising. The cost of debt is higher, but interest rates on your savings accounts are going higher. But the thing is, REITs by law have to pay out income. So what if you're able to set small amounts of money aside and let the income come in from the companies you invest in? So for example, Marcus, right? This is an online savings account that I love, right? If you put $15,000 in a Goldman Sachs savings account, you're getting a 3.5 interest rate. You're getting $525 in interest. G&L is one of my favorite REITs. They literally are tenants to government properties, companies like ING. They literally house headquarters for some of the major companies that we know today, right? Take the same $15,000, you're getting an 11% dividend yield, and you're getting over $1,600. Taking the same amount of money, except you're able to collect a higher income. REITs by law have to pay out the income. Why? Because REITs don't pay corporate taxes like a company does. So in exchange for not paying taxes, REITs pay out 90% of their income to you. So while you may not have the money to buy that big property, right? You may not want to buy now because rates are so high. What about investing in real estate companies that own all the commercial real estate and you don't have to do the legwork? And the reason I talk about this is because we are taught to go to school, save our money, and buy a house. How many of us have good jobs, got the college degree, save our money, but still feel financially frustrated? So that's great to start, but that's not what I saw on Wall Street. I saw our billionaire clients living off their dividend income from their REITs and their dividend stocks, paying their kids every single month because of companies like Microsoft or Target or the REITs like Simon Property and G&L. We got to start thinking like billionaires and millionaires if we want to start to build these businesses and have these bank accounts like them, right? So to learn more about REITs, go to REIT.com. I promise I'm not making this thing up. Go to REIT.com. Website tells you everything. But if we're going to be in this game of real estate, you got to start to talk about, and these are things that your clients need to hear. When you want to build that business, you want to educate. Forget getting the money. The more value you add, I promise you, it's coming back to you. Start to expose your clients to things they don't know to help them gain the value, because just like you might be scared and doubting yourself, imagine how your clients feel, right? Imagine how your clients feel. All right, lesson 5, we're wrapping up. Level up your belief system. You are more than enough, right? Look in that mirror and every morning say, I am proud of you. I am more than enough. I am worthy. In spite of what is going on, you have to look at yourself different, especially when there's so much negativity going on in the world, right? One of my favorite books, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, Mastering the Inner Game of Wealth. I can show you how to buy stock. I run a whole company that teaches that. I can show you how to buy REITs. We've had thousands of people go through our REIT accelerator, right? I can teach you everything you need to know about what to do with the money you make. But if you don't have the right mindset, everything I'm saying is going to go in one ear and out the other. So Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, sometimes I have to read this book to get a reality check, even when I doubt myself, right? So when I started to believe in Ashley, the game changed. My bank account grew when I started seeing Ashley different. So start to look at yourself different. Start to walk and talk different. And then the things that you do and the money that you make will start to be different. Be the first one to break generational curses. It's not easy, but I promise you it's worth it. Make a daily commitment to build both your mind and your bank account. This woman here, mother of 3 children, literally invested during the last market crash. More than double her money, right? So again, just because one industry may be dropping doesn't mean you can't win. Doesn't mean you can't make money with the money you have, even if you are starting small, right? So was this helpful? Give me one word to describe this session. And if you guys want to stay in contact with me, my social media is _Ashley M. Fox on Twitter and on Instagram. I got one account, has over 200,000 followers. I do not ask you for money. I will not tell you to give me money. I am solely here to educate, baby. I am also on LinkedIn. And to learn more about my company, our Wealth Builders Community app, you can go to empify.com, EMPIFY.com, and also the Wealth Builders Community. We have a lot coming, so much coming during a recession, how we can build this wealth for our children, for ourselves, for our business. I'm excited to be with you guys. I hope you learned something, took away something, and I introduce you to a different way of thinking, a different way of shifting your mindset, even when the world makes you feel like it's impossible. So thank you guys. And if you have any questions, let me know. Let's talk. I am here. I am an open book. If you want to talk about life, business, money, I am here. I am here. Let me know if you guys you have any questions. I'm looking in the chat now.
Ashley, I'm back on. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Y'all, they are giving you a standing ovation in the World Campus. So thank you all. Like y'all, I know you guys push number 5 or the clap. I think what is it, F5 or something? We have these avatars, Ashley. And then there are people on YouTube. People, I don't know if you could see in the comments. They're like we have some AMF quotes. We are now calling you AMF. There are quotes in the chat, and people are just saying how on fire you were. So thank you. We just knew you were going to bring the fire. And so it says, oh Lord, there's a whole bunch of people have questions. People are saying this was awesome. They're just people just like the chat is blowing up. The chat is blowing up. So what I'm going to do, I don't know how, there's so many questions. Let me start off by this. I'm going to ask you some questions while they're getting ready to bring some more questions in here. Cause like you said, you can answer some that you want to answer. But
and also too, guys, if we don't get to your question, I respond to all my DMs, _Ashley and Fox. Send me a DM, or you can shoot me an email, info@empify.com. But yeah, look, bring the questions.
So there's stuff in the chat. There's stuff in the EXP world. It is like I can't keep up. So we'll get to some of them. Okay. So one of the questions was, who do you study in the wealth game or the REIT game, an investment game? Like who is your ideal role model and mentor, and why do you study them?
So interesting, right? So one of the things I learned on Wall Street is that it's not that our community is missing financial education, right? Because a stock will always be a stock, whether I teach it to you or you read it in a book. There's a mental barrier that stops us from building wealth, right? And so when I left Wall Street and I lost everything, I realized that I wasn't even thinking like our wealthy clients, because there's one thing you need to know about wealthy people. They have an expectation that they're going to be wealthy. they believe they have the power, right? So I recognize I don't believe I deserve it. Well, why would I? I didn't grow up with it. It doesn't look like me. And so when I started to recognize I had an identity issue with money, I started to go to therapy. So if I'm being honest, I actually don't read finance books. I think they're really boring. Like, I really think finance books are boring. When I get my life together and I have time to sit still, I'll write a book, but I just think it's boring, right? Like, I only worked on Wall Street because I wanted to make a lot of money. Like, and I actually always want to be a teacher. So what I spend more time is breaking down Ashley and who Ashley is. Because I remember when I crossed $1 million, I was scared. I felt like I wasn't good enough because I was going to be so different from most people. But I felt like all the other people who made more money than me, I was less than with the money, I was less than without the money. And I realized the common denominator was Ashley. And so when you say study, it's more about how can I build the confidence in me to be the best CEO to grow my team? How can I build the confidence in me so that when I'm a billionaire, I was just watching LeBron when he crossed his
39,000
points, right? He walked in there with confidence. How many of us walk into our meetings, walk every day when we're walking down the street like, I deserve this and I'm going to get this? Most times our life and our reality dictate what we can't do. And so I spend more time spending a lot of money on my health, my mental health, my physical health. And it's more, let me unlearn all that stuff that's been told about me as a woman, as a Black person, because of my upbringing. Let me unlearn that wealth doesn't look like it has no color. Therefore, it's what I say it's going to look like. So I spend more time reading books by like Gary Zukov, Abraham Hicks. I spend more books learning Ashley and getting that mentality together versus reading like finance books.
Okay, excellent. There's another question here. So thank you. We're coming down to the last few minutes. If y'all don't mind, because there's so many questions, I want to ask just a few more questions. And if you don't mind, Ashley, we take you over like 2 minutes here. Sure. One of them is like, he says, how do you decide on whether or not to invest in a dividend versus a growth stock?
Good question. So I do both. Here's what I do. I have one brokerage account for dividends because I believe in passive income, especially now. There are some things I want to save for, but I feel like my REITs can get me, a higher return. But I also believe that some of these companies can flip my money. So instead of me having to choose, I just have one brokerage account only focused on passive income. And then I have another brokerage account only focused on non-dividend paying companies. Because while, yes, I can get, let's say that same 15,000 I had on the screen, I can put 15,000 in a REIT and get that 1,700 coming in passively, but I can put 15,000 in another. For example, this is real life. Tesla stock doubled in the past 35 days, right? Meaning I would have took that 15,000 and put it in Tesla. It would have turned into 30. I would put that 15,000. I would have got that income, right? And the REIT actually went up too. So you got to also think about what matters to you, because same way Tesla doubled, Tesla could drop just as fast. So I'm not looking for a quick flip. I'm more of a 5 to 10 years down the line. Okay. I bought Tesla for 3 shares for 300, like 2013. I literally made over a 3,000% return, and I sold in 2021. So it really depends on you. But if you don't know how to choose, just do both.
Okay. You answered one of the questions about the 5-year versus the 10-year strategy. So the last question that I'll ask you to do, really just to summarize, like if you had a crystal ball, I'm not saying that you do, but if you had a crystal ball, what would you forecast or see for the next 2 to 3 years while we're in this recession? And what would you suggest people focus on?
Next 2 to 3 years, the recession is going to be over, right? Companies you're going to see, so when we say the recession is over, meaning you're going to have more money in your bank account to spend, which means companies will make more money. They can get back to hiring and growing operations. They literally just took a step back. So I see the economy bouncing back, not as fast, but gradually, where we have a bull market where the market is going up until we have our next market crash or recession, which typically happens every 7 to 8 years, depending on, give or take a few years, right? I see companies bouncing back. I see the market growing. I see people buying more properties, and I see life going back to normal. But I also see people being more aware, financially educated, and creating more. Because at this point, we're literally living through the pandemic and now a recession. We are in a space where we want to make more money. Like we see the internet, so we know it's possible. And it's just like, we got that itch to do something. We're now spending this time to gain clarity on who we are so that we can supplement whatever we have been doing to be able to create more. So for me, I literally see, while it feels tight, it will not always be tight. But being tight and feeling tight is a perception. Because when I see a recession, I see let's make money. I see every company is having a big old Black Friday sale. It's like, we can buy a TV on sale. Why can't we buy Amazon or a Tesla on sale, right? So yeah, so I see in the next 2-3 years, things are going to bounce back. I don't think it'll be crazy, but you won't feel as tight financially. Housing will start to go back up. Markets are going to go back up. And we're just going to be more and more aware and more educated.
That is awesome. We just put a bow on that, y'all. That was amazing. So thank you, Ashley. That was fire. Like I said, the chat is blown up. You all know how to get in touch with Ashley. You've seen her on. So thank you so much. We look forward to just following you. Like, so everybody who's in this chat, like, make sure you follow, support the sister right here. She is the voice, and you already know she's the voice, and she's going to be a leader of the future. We believe that you're going to have a billion dollar company.
I don't have it. There is no plan B for me. I'm in too deep now. I'm in too deep.
Right. So what we have coming up next, y'all, is the BENJI Awards, our first annual BENJI Awards, recognizing Black excellence, and well, not just Black excellence, but our BENJI Awards. And so stay tuned. You all are going to take, I think they're going to take a 1 to 2 minute break, get some water, get something to drink, and we're going to go right into it and have our first presenter up pretty soon. So again, y'all, thank you so much, and we'll see you in a bit.
Hey, welcome everybody to the BENJI Awards. I told you I was going to have a wardrobe change, so I'm back now. So I'm Melanie Thomas again. We are here to present the BENJI Awards, and I'll give you a little background if you didn't hear what I said before when I was on mute, why they're called the BENJI Awards, if you're wondering. So that blue and orange and black logo that you see all over the Black EXP network, we call him, we call him Benjamin. His name is Leon Benjamin. And so for short, we call him BENJI, and thus the awards are named after him. So today we're going to give away, this is a nice fresh one here. This is going to be engraved with Benjamin and our winners' names, and they're going to get that in the mail, and they're going to be proud of their achievements. So just a little history on the Black EXP Network here. This was founded on the concept of Wakanda. So Fee will talk about a little bit about that later, but the concept of Black Panther, the fictional world of Wakanda, is obviously a place filled with Black excellence, technology, futuristic, forward thinking. So we base this group on that. So on the idea that we're always thinking about being innovators and creators and excelling at what we do. So these awards are just for that, to reward some of the people in our group, in our membership, that have excelled at their job, staff members, agents, you name it, allies. So one of our mottos here is it's about culture, not color. So everybody in the Black EXP Network, newsflash, is not actually Black. So we honor everybody who's down with our mission and who helps us in aligns with our goals and our mission. So we're going to start today by giving out some awards to some of those people who have achieved on a high level in 2022. So the first award that is on tap here is for the Rookie of the Year. And so I'm going to bring on Miss Anna Tutt, and she's going to go ahead and talk about the nominees for that award. Hey, Anna.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, fellow colleagues and friends. It is an honor. I have to say, it is an honor to present the BENJI, the award for the Rookie of the Year. Oh my gosh. Entering the real estate industry can be challenging, undertaking, but the nominees for this award have already made a significant impact in their first year. That's amazing. With their drive and passion and exceptional work, ethics, that's it, that's important. They have quickly established themselves as a rising star in their market. Their ability to navigate the complexities of the real estate transactions and their commitment to provide exceptional service to their clients has earned them each a reputation as one of the most promising newcomers in the industry. So the first nominee is Dominica Bermudez. The second, Bryson Daniels, Gerard Collins. And this one I'm going to take my time so I can make sure I pronounce his name correctly. Foloronso Akindo Ju. And the BENJI Award for the Rookie of the Year goes to, drum roll, Bryson Daniels. Congratulations, Bryson. He is the Rookie of the Year. Here we go. Oh, congratulations, Bryson.
Thank you. Thank you. First and foremost, I want to give honor to God. Without him, all things are possible. I want to thank my wife. I want to thank my kids for the long nights, the early mornings, the opportunities. Without them, they helped me give out business cards. They helped me door knock. They helped me through the process in ways like no other. My family for believing in me. The support I get from my family, not just friends, but everyone's around me is family. My circle is my family. My clients, of course. Now, here's the biggest one for me, outside of the first three, the Dream Team and the Legacy Builders Global. We did it. We brought one home. We're going to bring more icons everywhere. I said the other day, we're on icon runs. And in order to go on an icon run, you have to train. So, we're training every day because we want to be icons. And that's what we do with the Dream Team and Legacy Builders. And lastly, I want to thank EXP because you gave me the freedom to be who I always knew I was. Thank you so much.
Awesome, Bryson. Congratulations again. Amazing, amazing. You continue to do awesome things.
All right, welcome back, everybody. So thank you for that, Anna. Congratulations, Bryson. Bryson, if you don't know, is an alum of our Agent Accelerator Academy. He just crushed it in his first year. I believe he's part of the Dream Team up in Maryland with Rod Obi. So he did a great job. So congrats on that, Bryson. So coming up next, we're going to have an award which is very special to us. We work here at EXP. We're all agents. We always talk about 86,000 agents. However, we don't exist without the staff that support us. So we don't get paid for our transactions. Everything that we do in this world today, this whole presentation that's going on, it doesn't happen without the assistance and the support of our great staff. And we have the best staff in the business. So this next award is going to be to honor the BEN Staff Member of the Year. And to go ahead and present that, I'm going to introduce Cody. Cody, come on up.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Cody Gilkison, DEI Business Partner. It's my pleasure to present the award for Staff Contributor of the Year. This year, 1EXP is doubling down on its commitment to make all of our resource groups, like the Black EXP Network, available and worthwhile for our EXP staff. And in 22, we already had some EXP staff working wonders for the BEN community. These individuals have given of themselves far beyond the scope of their everyday work for the company and built upon EXP and BEN culture in profound ways. The nominees of this award are shining examples of staff volunteer excellence. With their unwavering commitment, exceptional work ethic, and positive attitudes, they've consistently gone above and beyond to ensure the success of their teams and organizations. It's my great honor to recognize the outstanding contributions of this year's nominees. And the nominees are America Dixon, Catherine Goodwin, Tony King, and Janae Robbins. And the winner is my girl, Janae Robbins. Janae Robbins truly embodies the spirit of what it means to be a dedicated and exceptional staff member. And I think we've got Janae here to accept the award.
Hi, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I really didn't think I was gonna win. Okay, let me just say this. It is amazing to be a part of this wonderful network and to work with the 1EXP and DEI team overall. I'd just like to say thank you to everybody who voted for me. Honestly, this award resonates with me on so many scales. And I appreciate your engagement with me and your support. I'd also like to shout out those who were nominated in this category with me. To Catherine, Tony, and America, we are so grateful for all that you contribute to our community. And I'm just honored to have been selected amongst you three and invite you to share in this momentum with me. Additionally, I'd like to thank Cody Gilkison for recommending me for this award, and Jessica Nieto. You two have been rooting for me since I've jump-started my career with EXP. My gratitude extends beyond words, and I cherish you both dearly. Thank you all so much.
All right, congratulations, Janae. That is well deserved. Janae, I see you all the time in our 1EXP meetings. You're always on point, and I'm happy, very happy for you that you won that award. And just if anyone's curious how this all worked, so we put the nominees out on Workplace and on all of our social media channels, and everyone was able to vote. So everyone was able to share their nomination link, and the people who won the award ultimately were the ones who got the most votes online. So if we do this again, or when we do this again next year, make sure that if you're nominated, or if you want someone else to be nominated, that you make your voices heard so that we can get the best representation of everybody in our membership. So that being said, speaking of representation, I mentioned before about allies. So one of the biggest things in our organization, as I mentioned, is about culture, not color. So BEN and its close to 4,300 members is made up of people of all diverse backgrounds, and we call them allies. So this next award is really, really important because it speaks to the importance of allyship and collaboration, and that no mission or movement is done, singularly with any one group. So it takes the help of everything. It takes a village, right? So I'm going to go ahead and introduce Fee Gentry, our founder, to give out this next award for Ally of the Year. Hey, Fee.
Hey, I did my wardrobe change. And this is
We're
really
ready for the club. We're ready for the club, guys.
We're ready for the club. I mean, we should talk about this because there is, they took Mel off the screen, but yeah. So one of the things we talk about is, like, we always talk about that no major movement has ever been accomplished, right?
Never.
Without without allies, right? Whether it's in political wars, religious movements, business movements, we've always needed allies. And so we're really fortunate, like we said, to have allies who may not look like us, but they share our core values. And we always talk about this. This is about culture, not color. It's more about our sameness and our likeness than it is our differences. So we're really excited about this. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm excited to see, because these four people, I don't know how anyone could have ever chosen between this group.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to steal your thunder, and I'm going to let you talk about each one of them and what your personal experiences were. But they're four phenomenal human beings, folks.
Right,
so,
right, yeah.
There's no winner or loser or anything in this. These are all great.
Not in this one at all. Yeah, this was probably the hardest category at all for sure. So
yeah,
cool.
Yeah. All right, I'll be back.
All right, thank you. All right, y'all. So Ally of the Year Award. Like we said, it's my honor and distinct pleasure to present to you all the BEN Ally of the Year Award. In an industry that is consistently changing, it takes a true champion of diversity and inclusion to create impact and effective real change. The winner of this award is a leader who has demonstrated commitment to promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion in the real estate industry and beyond. With their unwavering advocacy and passion, they create a more inclusive and equitable environment for all, regardless of race, gender, sexual orientation, age, and even their background. They are paving the way for a more diverse and representative future in real estate and serve as an inspiration to us all. And so without further ado, I'm going to announce our nominees, or I think there's a videotape that's going to play real quick. Do you want to do that? So the first one is Glenn Bill, Jessica Nieto, Jim Wong, our president of eXp Commercial, and Lori Bitter. So the winner of Ally of the Year is Jessica Nieto. So Jessica, come on down, get your award. Come up on the stage, our virtual stage.
Hey, P. Hey, eXp family. How are you?
Good. Surprise, surprise. So go, you have the stage.
Listen, it's a privilege to be here with you all, accepting an award as the Ally of the Year. I just have really enjoyed the programming today, and being recognized for promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion in the workplace is such a humbling experience. And as a leader in the business world, it is vital and essential that we continue to innovate at talent and equity by creating platforms in which everyone has the opportunity to thrive and reach their full potential. And I'd like to thank my colleagues, my fellow nominees, and the entire organization at eXp Realty for their unwavering support in our shared mission to lift all voices. So I will continue to be a loud advocate for diversity and equity, and together we can make a real impact and create a better and more equitable future for all. So thank you. Go be great, and go to Glassdoor and let everyone know how your experience was today at this event and how it resonated with you. Thank you. Thank you, Fee. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Jessica. Enjoy your time. I know she's out of town, so thank you so much for Laura. That's what the beauty of being a virtual company, right?
I think we had a lot of nominees and guests today that were out of town. So
yeah, exactly. We had some out of the country, so it was very interesting. So cool. So thank you so much. I'm gonna, without further ado, I think we're gonna turn this back over to Melanie. Do we have anything? We're almost halfway through our awards.
Yeah. Flying through these awards. We need to make some more categories here. We got to come up with some goofy ones maybe, but no, so far. So we have Bryson Daniels, our Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
I hope Bryson doesn't mind me saying this, but I was told that he did $10 million or $12 million in his first year.
Yeah.
So that's pretty darn amazing.
That's amazing transactions. But had no business experience really that much in the background for real estate that much. Yeah. So
I'm going to say it was the Agent Accelerator Academy.
I think that's what it was. Yeah, I think it was. Honestly, I think it was the Agent Accelerator Academy.
Right, and then so we have Janae and then Jessica. So this next one is going to be a little bit different. So it's not one that we had nominees for. This person who was selected specifically for kind of an honorary award. So the award is called the Contributor of the Year. So when we say, we have this thing called Workplace, right? We all should be using, and a lot of us don't take advantage of it. But Workplace is really like the central nervous system for eXp. Any eXp agent who's not on Workplace is cheating themselves out of opportunity, out of networking, out of just education, you name it. Everything that we have in this company, lives on Workplace, lives and breathes 24 hours a day. Anything you need, any question that you have. So the beauty of Workplace is that we have agents, top producing agents, agents of all stripes, that go on there and collaborate with each other and help each other out. Because of course, because of the model of our business, when one of us does well, we all do well. So if you're not on Workplace, please get on Workplace and stay on Workplace and stay engaged. So one person who has been extremely engaged on Workplace is this next person who we're going to give this award to. So he's by far the leading contributor, other than myself, and I have to do it, but he is at the top. He is the person who has had the most posts. I think he had over 120 posts last year. And they're not just posts about, hey, can I do an open house this weekend? There are tutorials, YouTube, TikTok, you name it. He's teaching people every time, free of charge, on his own time, spreading his information and his knowledge to all of his fellow EXP and BEN agents. And then he took it a step further. Marvin also is a graduate of the Agent Accelerator Academy. And so I was so happy that this year he actually came back to teach as an instructor. And that's, what more could you want than that? And so he's always giving of his time. He came full circle this past year to come back and teach for us. So because he wanted to pour into our students the same thing that he got, and then continue again his pattern of just sharing. So he believes that the innovation and the revenue streams here at EXP help us build our own personal brand. And as real estate professionals, he dedicates his valuable time, energy, and resources to share his passion for helping his fellow EXP agents take the steps to lead to those goals. So I mentioned his first name, but I'm talking about the one and only Mr. Marvin Oria. It is the very first recipient of BEN's Contributor of the Year Award. Marvin, jump up on here. Everybody give him a shout, a clap, and say thank you for all the nuggets that you share. Hey, Marvin.
Hey, what's going on, Melanie?
All right, I'm going to let you take the stage and say thank you for whatever you want to say. It's your time here. There you go, sir. Congratulations on well done, well deserved.
Well, I want to say first and foremost, I am supremely humbled by the very kind words that you just shared. And I think the most important thing, with this is that, I approach all things from a perspective of ministry and service. And so when I came to EXP, the ecosystem, the ability to just plug and play with the technology and connect with literally thousands of agents across not just the United States, but across the world, I just felt like it was one of the greatest opportunities to be a voice of one to many versus one to one, because one helpful video, one helpful hack that may be working for me, it's like you can't keep it to yourself. You know what I mean? You have to share the information with other people. And the beautiful thing about our brokerage is that it literally says it's all about collaboration. There's no competition. And so I literally believed in leveraging the Workplace group as a place to say, okay, this is what's working for me. If you're struggling with coming up with content to present to your audience, these are some ideas that you can go with, Melanie. And I'm just appreciative of BEN, you, Fee, and everyone else in the within the organization and within the group, because we're all looking for our tribe in this thing called life. And I truly, truly believe within the workplace ecosystem, and there are many groups that you can be a part of, and that's the beautiful thing about our company, but with technology, you literally can find your tribe. And so I'd be remiss to say that, the information that I've shared has literally impacted and helped other people. And I believe that when you attach a price tag to it, you kind of, in certain instances, you do devalue yourself. And so for me, I was like, my logic is just be a blessing to others and it will, come back to you. And I'm grateful. I'm incredibly grateful of the connections that I made and the business that I've generated from it as well, because as we kind of put ourselves out there and push through the insecurities, I got them just like the rest of us do. It's not always a comfortable thing to be on camera, but it's something that has been a direct correlation to the amount of business that I've been able to do through social media. And I'm just supremely humbled about it. I can't go any further without thanking my beautiful wife and our daughter, because our daughter really is the one that encouraged me or kind of challenged me to get on social media, starting with TikTok, because she said, Daddy, she's 9, her name's Liberty, and I feature her in a lot of our content, but she said, Daddy, I don't think adults should be on TikTok. It's really for kids. I said, okay, well, I'll show you. So I took that as a challenge. And one of my first videos, literally as of today, has over 700,000 views from it, and business continuing to generate. So I'm learning this thing, just like I know we all are. But our industry, you got to be comfortable on camera. You got to be on social media in some capacity, either in front of the camera or behind the camera. And my hope and my prayer is that some of the ideas that I put out there help inspire you as the end listener or end viewer, and that you go out and you do something amazing. So I appreciate it. Supremely humbled.
Absolutely. They certainly do. Thank you so much, Marvin. Congratulations. And I hope you come back and teach with us again.
Absolutely. Sign me up.
All right. Congratulations, Marvin. So that's great. So guys, just again, to circle back on that, please go in workplace. You don't know what you're missing out, what you're learning free. Everybody almost wants to know how to get free information, free education. It's there for you 24/7. Take advantage of it. So we'll pivot now to our next award, which we're getting into the really exciting ones right now. I'm going to bring on our next presenter, who is my good friend and colleague, Miss Kathy Austin. Are you in the house? Hey there.
I am in the house.
All right. Good to see you, lady. So Kathy, what are you going to be giving out today?
Well, today it's my privilege to present the BENJI Award for Social Media Star of the Year.
Oh boy, so I'm gonna get out of here so you can go do that, because these are the people who are doing the do on the video stuff. So we can't cheat them out of their time. So excited to see who ends up winning.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much. Isn't it exciting to be here? Like I said, it's my privilege to present the BENJI Award for Social Media Star of the Year. In a digital world where information is just a click away, social media has become a powerful tool to connect with, inspire, and educate consumers and the community. Our nominees for the Social Media Star Award are agents who are true leaders, harnessing the power of social media to drive change and growth in the real estate industry. They use their unique voices, innovative ideas, and unparalleled expertise to become a go-to source for real estate news and insights. Their ability to engage, educate, and empower their followers has earned them a large and loyal following and well-deserved reputation as top influencers in the field. The nominees for the Social Media Influencer of the Year are Chauncey Pham, Chasen J. Miles, Will Higgins, Claudine Hibbert, Sean Cochran, Kiera Murrell, and the BENJI Award goes to Chauncey Pham. Please join me in congratulating Chauncey. Is Chauncey in the back? Is she in the background? She's coming to the stage.
All right. I guess we don't have Chauncey. Are we going to have to do one of those things? All right. After I dropped it on the floor, Chauncey, I will accept this honor I will accept this award in your honor, Chauncey Pham. Don't know where she's at, but she was here earlier. So you missed out your chance to, give your acceptance speech. Maybe we'll catch up with her a little bit later. So thank you, Kathy. So that was cool, right? Who would you pick from in that category? Those guys, if you just Google all of those names, people, you'll see the amazing things that all those folks are doing on social media. So again, no winners and losers here. They are all excelling in that realm. So we've flown right through this, and we are up to our most prestigious accolade of the evening, which is our Icon of the Year. And we have, luckily enough, an icon to give away that award to his fellow icons. Is the icon in the house?
I am here.
You ready for Club Wakanda?
Come on, let's go. You see, the vibes.
All right now. Okay, well, I'm going to step away because, I'm going to let you do your thing. You got the outfit on. You are all ready. So take it away.
Thank you so much, Mel. Man, has this been riveting? Has this been fun? Like, it's been fun and educational all at the same time. And that's not very common. So I can say Thank you to all of the presenters. Thank you to all of the panelists. Thank you to all of the people who, all of the nominees, and congratulations to the nominees and the winners. This has just been a lot of fun. And being able to present the BEN Icon of the Year award for me is extremely special. As Melanie told you, as an icon agent myself, I aspire to inspire. I simply want to be out there and help be a stimulus to other people's journey, other agents' journey. And so, again, it's my pleasure to present the award. In a field that's constantly evolving and it's so challenging, it really does take a true visionary to stand out. And the winner of this award is a true leader. Like, this person has set a new standard for excellence in real estate production. This individual's impressive track record speaks for itself. With a keen eye for opportunity and a passion for helping clients achieve their goals, they've established themselves as a trusted advisor and a valuable resource in our industry. The nominees for the BENJI Icon of the Year are LaShawn Peterson. Oh, it's going fast. All right, hold on. All right. Calvin Gleaton, Paula Sanders, Terrence Murphy Jr., Damian Forrester, Melissa Miller, and Trenton Johnson. All right. So I just did that for suspense. Y'all can start the drum roll. Start the drum roll. Start slapping your legs or something. All right. And the BENJI Award for Icon of the Year goes to Miss Paula Sanders. Please join me in congratulating Paula. Paula, take yourself off mute. Come on, it's time. It's time. The people got it. People want to hear from you. Are you there? Are you with me? Come on. Paula's taking notes. I think she's writing her acceptance speech. Paula. Call him Paula. Somebody call Paula. Tell Paula it's go time. Paula is, I think she's writing an offer. Paula. All right. Well, you know what? Although she is here, I might have to accept. Yes, you. Hey. No? Okay. I might have to accept this award on her behalf unless somebody's going to be able to call her on the bat phone and tell her it's go time. I accept this. I humbly accept this award on behalf of Paula Sanders. But I do have a treat for you, because as entertaining as that little bit was, it gave us just enough time to bring in the social media award winner of the year, Miss Chauncey Pham.
Hi.
Hey, girl. Hey. All right. So talk to us, man. You are the social media award winner of the year, like the BENJI award winner of the year for social media. Talk to us about that. What does that mean for you? Why is social media so important for you?
That means being authentic, and being so authentic that you are accepting a social media award while you have to go and get your children pizza while sitting in the car, which is what just happened. I just got a pizza handed to me. It's pretty cool. So thanks so much for you guys recognizing all the hard work that the agents get. A lot of times we don't get a lot of representation, and so yeah, man, I get on social and I have fun. I consider social media the greatest tool that could be handed to an entrepreneur. And I just try to leverage it the best way as possible to be social with people rather than sell to them. And I'm having a great time with it and lots of successes. And I wish everyone the same.
All right. And what can we expect to see from Chauncey Pham in the near future? Talk to us.
Man, I don't know. I'm writing a book right now. I'm on the television show on A&E, so tune in every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern time, 10 a.m. Central. Zombie House Flipping on A&E. Again, that's Saturday mornings. I would love to get you guys support with that. And then, I'm running a video community to teach other people how to leverage social media and video the way that I do, and how I have harnessed it for my business. So I don't know, man. I really think that the future is just teaching people how to kind of do what I've done and do it in the capacity that I've done. done, which is simply being myself and sharing that with others.
And while still being themselves.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely.
That's the best part about it. You teach authenticity because that's all you know.
Correct.
So yes, I love it. Well, congratulations to you again on being our BENJI Award winner for the Social Media Person of the Year. Congratulations to you. And we'll be looking forward to tuning in. Make sure y'all tune in to A&E and watch our girl do her thing. Congrats again. All right. Now I'm gonna try this one more again. Is Paula now looking at the screen? Is she now ready to accept her Icon of the Year award?
Being number one or anything like that. I just focus on being a good steward of all the people that, God allows me to, to help. So I'm honored to be here. And so I thank you guys so much. The best is yet to come. All right. Y'all have a great one. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Well, then, you heard it first. You heard it here live from Miss Paula Sanders. I don't know how much of it you heard, but she's humbly accepting it, and she did thank God for it. So, hey, we thank God for her too. And Paula, when you watch this back, you'll understand what we're talking about. We love you nonetheless. You are still an icon and always an icon in our hearts. So, Melanie, I'm going to bring you back up. Are you and Fee coming back in here?
Yes, can we get Miss Gentry back on there? So, guys, you know what? Live TV.
Live TV.
What we do, baby?
It's fantastic. So, hey, congrats to everybody. Paula Sanders, Icon of the Year.
Yeah.
Who do we have before that? Chauncey Pham, Social Media Star of the Year. Marvin, our Contributor of the Year. Bryson Daniels, our Rookie of the Year. Jessica Nieto, our Ally of the Year. And Janae Robbins, our Staff Member of the Year. Guys, I hope that you enjoyed this because this was an idea we came up with. We thought it'd be super cool. And, why not to honor our own? And, it means a lot when it comes from family, right? So I hope that everybody felt what we felt when we planned this because that's what we were trying to do. So, Fee, since I brought you back on now, we talked a little bit when I first came on about the whole concept of why it's Benjamin and all of that. So talk about the Black EXP Network. First of all, if you're watching this and you're not a member, please go on Workplace if you're at EXP and join right now and join One EXP and all of our other affinity groups, EXP Latino, EXP Military Network, EXP Seniors, there's a bunch of them. They're all under the umbrella of One EXP. But tell us how we got here, Fee, because I saw you two crazy kids in Orlando in 2019 and y'all brought me into the cult. So tell me how it started.
Sure. For those of you who don't know the backstory, it's this, right? It was really a vision of where I was in rooms and kind of like what Ashley talked about. We're in rooms where I was the only person who looked like me. And like I said, real estate, the X's and O's, like I always say, the X's and O's of real estate are exactly the same. The contract, the paperwork, etc., is just how we experience it and how our cultures experience it. And so I wanted to be in a room where when decisions were being made, when new information was being brought forth, especially in a fast forward futuristic company like EXP, to have people to bring our people along, right? We sometimes get back if we kind of lay back and say, yeah, is the water cool over here? Is it cool to come over here? And so I wanted to create an environment where we said the water is good. The water is cool for us to come over here. And so we started actually, and it was encouraged by then CEO Jason Gessing was one. I would call him an original founder, right? Who encouraged us to do this. Dave Kennord, Julie Nelson, who started the Pride Network, and a few others. And then so initially, I was just like literally December 18th, started out this group of 0 people and said, let's put this vision out here and see who would come. And people started to come. And I call them our OGs. Kathy, I know Kathy Austin was one of the people who reached out. Gersha Porter, she may be in the audience. Elgin Walker, Damian Forrester, I think Damian was an OG, like one of the OGs. Michael, who's in there. I saw some of the other OGs who were in there. Dwight Whitaker. So we just had this core group of people. Huh? Dwayne. Dwayne, yeah. Hirsch, yeah. What did I say? Whitaker?
Yeah.
And so there's just a core group of people who had a vision, who saw my vision and had a belief, knowing that we could build the future, right? And so it was created after what we're looking at now is the movie Black Panther had just come out, had been released in November of 2018 after the late Chadwick Boseman, right? And so we wanted to model Black excellence, real estate. And then we also created it, like we said, it's about culture, not color. And so we knew that we had to have our group of allies. And so we have had no better allies than some of the people who we've seen, the Glenn Bills, Lori Benner. I mean, we could just go on and on and on. Jason Gessing, Glenn Sanford, who has been a huge contributor to our organization. Jim Wong. I mean, we could just go on and on and on and name the people. Cody, Jessica. So that's how it started. And so the vision has been for us to, we've gone from 0 to up to close to 4,600. I think we're about 4,600 total in all of our subscriptions, inner base and outer base of EXP. And the vision is 10,000. And so we will not stop until we get there. And I want us to be there at 10,000. It may not be 2023, but it might be it's going to be 2024. The vision of 10,000 agents and allies that are building our community and building wealth. And so if nobody else who made that vision clear today was Ashley Fox, like AMF made that vision clear that we can do this. So that's about it. And so y'all, I want to stop before we do this. I want to stop and acknowledge Melanie Thomas, this CEO, like this chick right here, y'all. She, I'm the visionary. She's the implementer. I mean, she's the implementer. And when Melanie came in 2019 and she was getting ready to leave EXP, I saw this chick walking and she was getting ready to leave. And
it's going to be my last day.
It's going to be her last day. And I stopped her because there's something about that young woman that I said, well, young woman.
I'm younger than you by a couple months.
There we go.
I think we're a little
by 3 months.
But to have that young woman, like I said, this young woman who's one of my, my best friends, who I stopped and there was something about her that I knew that was special. And so I tell y'all, we could not be where we are without the help of Melanie Thomas. She has taken over, she has taken over a lot of what, especially when I had to step back when I was on the board of directors. She just took over the role and took over running the Black EXP Network. So I guess to be founder. And so we've got a great crew. I want to thank Anna Tutt. Who else is on there? We've got a whole bunch of people who are behind the scenes. Levon,
Barksdale, and shout out to our great content providers, Jania and David Totten and Samuel, for helping get those posts up every day for Black History. Guys, if you haven't been to the Black History Library, please go there. And one thing I just wanted to circle back when you were talking about Glenn Sanford and Jason Gessing fee. I don't want to be biased here, but I don't know. Michael, do you know of any other brokerages that are doing anything like this?
Like this? Not at this scale. Nope. Not at this scale. I can tell you that I know
Black
of
agents having award shows and their own streaming live on YouTube. I would say EXP is pretty darn cool.
Yeah, I'd say EXP is pretty darn cool, but not only just cool. We're ahead of the pack. We're leading. We are not reactionary in our support of other communities, underserved communities, overlooked communities many times. And so that's why we have the affinity groups that we have, to make sure that every single person that comes into EXP has people that look like them, sound like them, talk like them, whatever it is, just because that is important. Mm-hmm. It isn't about color. Right. It truly is about culture. Mm-hmm. But we also can't forget about the fact or neglect the fact that we do have different cultures. We do look different. We do sound different. And sometimes it makes us feel at home when we can step into a place and see other people who look like us and go, hey, how's it going? Can you help?
Home, right?
Welcome home.
I just got a text from DJ Intel who tells me that he is ready right now in Club Wakanda 15 minutes ahead of time. So I don't know, unless you guys have something else you want to do here, I think I'm going to head over there and listen to some music. Is there any unfinished business that we need other than saying thank you to everybody who helped put this on? Thank you, Fee. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Anna, and all our presenters, Cody.
Yes, Alex has put up with us for
Alex,
2 days.
thank you, Alex. And Randy Highsmith. The EXP University is the best. They do everything all day for us. And then, of course, all of our leadership that allow us to get on here and play around and have crazy acceptance speeches or whatever. Let us have a little fun. Real estate, all work and no play makes a dull real estate agent, right? So it's all in fun and just recognizing our great culture that we have here at EXP, guys. So this is an example of that. So let's go watch some more of it and let's go have some fun and dance. DJ Intel is all that. I'm not playing. I'm going to go in there and listen to some good music. Right there you go. All right. Is there anything that we have left out here for today?
I think we covered everything. We told people to go. So the call to actions are to go join the Black EXP network. We want you also to not
EXP.
And One EXP. So join that. The other call to action would be that we had on the list is we really want you to take all this information that you took, take one thing that you're going to implement. And so this is called the one thing challenge. Take one thing that you're going to do as a result of this conference today, I call it, or event today, that you're going to do and implement it. And we want you to come and put it into the EXP, the BEN workplace, and say, as a result of this particular event, come into the BEN workplace and put in the chat, or you can put in any of our social media channels. If you're not a member of BEN, not a member of EXP, go to any of our social media, Instagram, Facebook, any of those.
Black EXP Network on Instagram, Black EXP Net on Facebook, and Black EXP Network on YouTube.
Right. Go to any of those places, right, and say, let us know what we did right, what you enjoyed well, but let us know how you felt about the event. Give us some feedback, good, bad, and different. And then also what's the one thing that you're going to take away? Because events are all good, but unless you implement it, because that's where the part is, that implementation and that thrive piece, unless you implement it, none of it's for naught. It's just head knowledge, right? Knowledge is not power. It's the implementation of knowledge that is power. So I think that's it. Anything else that we have to talk about?
I would just like for everybody to leave a, as you're leaving comments, just let us know who wore it better.
Yeah. Well, I'm going Chadwick. You go Chadwick.
I'm challenging Chauncey right here, Mike. So
challenging Chauncey. Yeah.
That's the inside great. All right, y'all. We're gonna go before we get in trouble. We are on the
and as we always
go party in Club Wakanda. See everybody. Thank you so much for coming to the BENJI 2023. Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever. Love y'all. Bye-bye, y'all. Thank you for coming. Bye-bye. See y'all over. Oh, we got to tell them how to get over there. So
if you're in the world, go to the menu, Black History Month, Club Wakanda. Click. You'll be right in the door. You'll hear the music playing.
Right. And the others, sorry, we'll let y'all know about the party afterwards. We'll send you some pictures of the party. But if you're in the world, we'll see you then. Thanks, y'all. Bye-bye.